soul so high, blue eyes, fake quiet. Beware of the fucks tonight. Cold feet.
Hello. Alrighty, I think my microphone's working today. Alright, so welcome to another episode of NOVAtazz's Automotive Podcast. We are on episode 31, I do believe. Let me double check. Episode 31 of season 4. Hopefully you guys can all hear me today. Miss Clicky Clacky over there.
Yeah, I was just typing it in the chat so that we don't get too far into conversation.
Right, especially because we got a hot topic today. By hot, I mean like dead fucking cold. No vroom vrooms, no sounds. Just.
No, see, you lie because the new one has.
It's fake. It's a freaking. It's a speaker. It is not real. Well, we are gonna start this off heated right off the bat, aren't we? We're not even gonna like coast into this. We're just gonna, all the electric torque right off, huh? Anyway. Today's topic, at least the starting topic. We'll see where this goes. It's either gonna be a hit or it's gonna be a flop. But anyway, so today's topic is EVs, and yes, Dodge's unveiling this week is what sparked this discussion. I have never been so disgusted in my life. I shouldn't say in my life. I've never been so disgusted at a car company in a long time. Now I'm gonna play this right out. The car looks awesome. It should have been out 10 years ago when they came out with the Charger 10 years ago. It should have been. Because that should have been the Charger we've had for the last 10 years, with all the V8 craze. Because that's what it should have looked like.
See, and I understand your thinking with that, but the only issue they would have had was it would have been too much competition for the Challenger. Because they're basically the same car.
The Charger came out way before the Challenger.
The Charger came out, yes. The Charger came out in 2005. The Challenger came out in 2008.
Okay, well, what you need to understand is I'm not much older than you, but I'm a little older than you. And that car that they rolled out as an EV looks like the concept that we were supposed to get back in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I do remember that concept, and
then they came out with that ugly ass 4-door thing that they called a fucking Charger.
Honestly, I like the look of the Charger, and
it didn't bother.
But it didn't bother me because the previous generation to that was a front-wheel drive with the Mitsubishi engine that was a less than 2.5 liters.
Right.
To start.
But we were all teased with an actual Charger-looking Charger, and all the way up through until production, and then they came out and they said this is a production car, and it looked nothing like the prototype that we were all teased. We were all teased a Charger-looking Charger, and then they come out with a 4-door that's not a Charger. It didn't even look like a Charger when it first the second iteration of it had like the Charger-ish taillights, you know what I mean? And it kind of looked like a Charger, even though it was still a 4-door. But the one we got first looked nothing like a Charger, except for it didn't even have the freaking scallop side at first. That was the second generation.
No, the scallops and the taillights came in 2000 and I think it was 9.
Right.
But when they did that.
The thing is. And that's what really irritated me when they came out with this EV, is because the EV body should have been what we had as a V8 back 10 years ago.
See, and to be honest, it doesn't bother me. I like the whole Charger thing, whatever else. Like, okay, yes, I kind of grew up with the 4-door Charger, seeing them, but the one thing is, it doesn't bother me because, again, you look at the history of the Charger, okay, there is literally only, if you want to be like a proper enthusiast about it, there's only 3 generations of Chargers that mean anything to most people, and that is the first, the second, and the third gen. The 4th generation Charger was just a glorified Cordoba. The 5th generation Charger was a front wheel drive on
That was what, the
little
Charger
hatchback.
Daytona?
Yeah, it wasn't even that, because the Daytona was a different car. It was on a different platform altogether. The Charger then was a small little compact that had less than 100 horsepower. It actually only had 90 horsepower out of that little 2.2 liter when it first came out in 1982, I believe it was. And it wasn't really a performer. Even the Shelbys, when they came out in 1983 with the Charger, it wasn't really a performer yet. It took until, I think it was 86 or 87, where they put the turbos on them and they really let Carroll Shelby kind of do what he wanted with them, not just a handling package, for them to become a performer. But you look at those, and most people aren't going to know that's a Charger. It looks nothing like a Charger at all.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing even similar about them. And, you know, so yeah, and truthfully though, because even like the first generation Charger wasn't even a muscle car or anything like that.
Car.
It was just, it was a luxury coupe. And then you move to the second generation. Okay, that was a muscle car, but in the third generation, it went back to that luxury coupe, and then same as the 4th generation. Because like the third generation, to be honest, like they are so heavy and they're a huge car. Like the second generation Charger, while it's a big car, it's actually not as heavy as you think it is. They're only about like 3,700 pounds, give or take, which is still kind of heavy, but for what it is, it's not too bad considering the thing is almost 18 feet long. But the third generation Charger, it was, I think, an extra foot longer than that and weighed about 4,400 pounds back then. It was just insane.
Yeah, it went back to being a luxury-ish car.
Yeah, but it was still a good-looking car, and everybody, like, there's a lot of people that like them. They're not obviously as popular.
Just like the Cordobas, they're not bad. I mean, they're not a pretty car, but they're not an ugly car.
Well, and that's the interesting thing though, is because you can go back to, and I don't know why they didn't just call this the Charger to begin with, because Dodge had 3 different versions of that car. They had the Charger, the Chrysler Cordoba, and then they had a thing called a Dodge Magnum, which the Magnum, all it was a little up-trimmed. It had covers over the headlights, which actually looked really cool. I really like the look of them. And then a different grille in them, similar to a Murata. But other than that, it was a Charger, 100%, or a Cordova, whatever you want to call it, right?
Mr. John says also the Dodge 500.
Well, depending on so okay.
Just going off by what it says in the chat.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out what he's talking about with Dodge 500, because like the Charger 500 initially when it came out was their NASCAR spec Charger. In 1968 they had, because you know when you see those second gen Chargers, they had that on the back window where they're like very recessed in. Instead they put a plug there, and it made it so it's more like the Roadrunner. It made it a lot more aerodynamic. Plus, they also put in a 67 Coronet grille and headlights to make it more aerodynamic that way. That's how the Charger 500 first started out. But by 1970, that was all dead because they had the Daytona and the Superbird. It just became a trim model after that, and there was nothing special about it at that point, which was kind of sad in 1970. And yeah, like the Charger's history is definitely a very, sketchered thing, and what you wouldn't think of with a Charger. And then now with this EV concept, which like, okay, the one thing is it's a striking looking car.
It is absolutely gorgeous looking. I will agree with you there.
And I understand why, like, they're being forced to do the electric thing. I know they are, because they were kicking and screaming, not wanting.
Everybody
yeah,
is.
but like Dodge especially was kicking and screaming, not wanting to do it. Now,
nobody really wants them. I mean, I shouldn't say nobody. There are people out there that want them, but people don't want to be forced to want them.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the one thing is with that Charger, I like what they're doing with it, because like, okay, with the whole electrification thing that they're being forced to do, I love what they're doing with that because they're actually going after Tesla in the performance market that way.
But they're not.
Because
They're falling so far short.
800 horsepower out of the
Out of
EV,
a 1200 horsepower Tesla.
the Teslas don't make that much.
Oh yes, they do.
Well, also gotta remember when Tesla first came out with their cars, with their
Right, but we can't talk
ludicrous
about
mode,
when
whatever.
Tesla first came out. We got to look about what's
Well,
today.
no,
And
no,
today,
no.
Teslas
We
are
can't.
making 1200 horsepower.
Well, no, we can. Only reason why is because this is Dodge's sort of first attempt at this.
Right,
They've
but the
never
thing
made
is
an electric car until now.
I understand that, but you can't sit here and say, "Oh, we'll grandfather them in because this is their first one." The thing is you got to look at what their market is today. And today their market is Tesla Plaid making 1200 horsepower all-wheel drive, and Dodge, their entry all-wheel drive making 800. It's they're gonna fall short.
And also,
they're in the same, they're gonna be in about the same price bracket. So I mean, if you're looking at a car and you want to know which one to get, if you're into performance, you're gonna go with the one that makes more horsepower per dollar.
like the one thing is, and because the Plaid itself is a certain option on it, right? But the base Tesla Model S, I think it is, that's the one that it's going to be competing with at the moment. Dodge, I know, is going to go after the Plaid. There's no doubt about that. They're not going to touch it right now because they're still learning.
Well, did you
right?
watch some of the clips from that unveiling? They're doing pay to play. Did you catch that?
I did not catch that. No.
Yeah, remember the topic we had the other day about BMW making you pay a subscription to have the heated seats in your car work?
Yeah.
Dodge is going that way with the Charger. In fact, all of their EVs. They are going to offer performance packages, and the car will come from the factory capable of doing said things, but you can't use them unless you pay Dodge to use them. And I'm sorry, this stems from video games and our cell phones and everything else. We have been so conditioned to sit here and pay to have things that we already paid for to be able to use them. And now the car companies are able to do this because the cars are they're basically fucking computers, and they can lock and unlock whatever they want from a distance.
Yeah, see, now, and I'm curious because there are people that are gonna crack the code, because they always do, because a lot of cars security that way is not that good, as people have found out very easily. Especially people being able to hack it. Well,
I don't
well,
agree
people
with
have hacked
Mr.
it
John's statement in the comments.
and I don't either. At least of this iteration of the electric, I do not agree with it. And the only reason why is because of the batteries themselves.
Well,
because
it's not that.
like,
Well,
electric cars are the future.
Right. Well,
like,
yeah. Well, not because it is the future. It's because politicians and policies have made it the future, not because it is the future.
Well, I will say, internal combustion engines, they aren't the future, unfortunately. It's just how they work, whatever else, and what is required for them. It's unfortunately a thing that won't be of the future, and I understand that entirely. But the battery electric is not the way to go. Like, honestly, and they've already figured this out. They just don't have the infrastructure in place for it, which they don't have infrastructure properly for these battery electric EVs at the moment, is a hydrogen electric system. So, and like I said, they've already figured this out. Actually, locomotives have been doing this for quite a number of years.
The other funny thing is he's sitting here talking about running out of dinosaur juice. We have enough oil and everything else to be sufficient for a long time yet.
Okay, we'll be long dead before we run out of oil.
A generation or two will be long dead before we run out of dinosaur juice. Problem is, what do we not have a lot of? What all of these batteries are made out of.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, the lithium, and that's the problem
The
too.
thing
And
is yes,
also,
okay, we're talking about futures electric, whatever. But the problem is the environmental damage that we're causing mining this lithium. The fact that there isn't a whole lot, there's less lithium in the world than there is oil at this point.
yeah,
But this is what is making politicians money at the moment. That's why they're running with it.
well, yeah, and the one thing is right now, and this is actually backed by statistics and everything, of not just the pollution involved with actually making these the environmental disaster that are electric cars, but you can also look into how the average electric battery actually lasts. And what I mean by that is not that okay, when they die, when charging back up, all that. That's not what I'm talking about. When they need to be replaced.
Yeah.
It's 10 years on average.
Probably less than
So
that.
no, it is
with the way they are today.
No, it is 10 years actually. Because you can look at Teslas. It's about every 10 years you have to replace the batteries in Teslas. And now that's the one thing. And who knows? Maybe that'll get better with technologies going forward. Maybe they'll find a different thing besides lithium to power these. Who knows, right? Like we don't know what the future holds for this, and they're gonna keep investing into this, and it's gonna be such a failure in the end. Like we'll be, I think, like probably in 20 years' time they'll realize this was a mistake. But right now, obviously, they're just going after that because of the environmental stuff for
cash grab.
Yeah, I mean, this is a cash grab too, and this is the short term solution, even though it's not really a solution, but to the internal combustion engine. But the one thing is, because if we did even internal combustion engines for now on hydrogen, that's actually been proven to be a zero emission system. Of course, you're still running oil and whatever else in the engine, but the actual fuel itself and what comes out of the tailpipe is zero emissions. It's all that comes out is nitrogen. It's great, but
Flight mode and autopilot doesn't last very long, Mr. John.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and the one thing is, so this has actually been you can look on anything. The Plaid, the problem with it, and with any electric car that makes a ton of power,
it runs through its battery power very, very quickly.
Okay. Well, you can look at actually, if you go to Freddie Tavares's channel, and when they did their dream car garage, the three cars, and Tyler Hoover bought a Tesla. Now, and they were actually showing when they did drag races on the highway. Oh yeah, the Tesla was faster. This was an older Model S, before the Plaid was even thought of.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, when he hammered on it, he lost 3 miles of range in about a second.
Right.
So it's
well, the thing is okay.
It's bad.
Most of us are V8 enthusiasts and also probably track enthusiasts to a point. If I had the ability to take my car to a drag strip or to a circuit track, I would. If I get my cars to the point that I am going to, and that's still a thing anymore, that's my biggest worry right now, is putting all this money into what I'm doing, and by the time I get it all ready to go, automotive hobby isn't a thing anymore. But you take one of these, supposed to be new track toys, Dodge Charger, Tesla Plaid, whatever, go take them racing. Okay? You take it to a drag strip, you'll get a couple passes out of it, and you'll have to charge it. That's saying that your drag strip or whatever has a fast charge. If not, you're done for the day. Got a couple passes in, you're done for a day. You're charging just to make it home. And the thing, if you're at a circle track, you're not getting more than a couple laps out of it before you're stuck. And it doesn't matter how much horsepower it makes if you can't enjoy it. If you can't sit there and have fun with it, and you get a couple good passes and you're done for the day, what fun is that? Why
Well,
would I want all of that power if I can't play with it?
oh, exactly. And actually, the one thing that John just mentioned, and that is something that is a misconception with the gasoline powered vehicles or even diesel. They do not, the one thing that they emit is CO2, but they don't actually like ingest, obviously, like they ingest a little bit of oxygen to run, but it's not like they're displacing the oxygen
No, they're
in the
not.
air. That is false. And the
Yeah,
one thing
plant more
is,
trees.
what do yeah, exactly. Well, the thing is, what does plant life like require to actually release
CO2.
oxygen? Exactly. Now, the
You
thing
want to
is,
stop? You want to stop killing oxygen for your children? Tell people to stop mowing down fucking forests and everything else to build more fucking cities and freaking, you know, that's more of a killer for freaking oxygen than the cars in the world.
yeah, well, and even the cars aren't really killing oxygen that way. Like, and especially nowadays, they're not. Like, you go 60 years ago, little different.
Yeah.
They were
Well,
honestly.
yeah, okay, well, you got me.
Oh,
Go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt you.
yeah. Well, I was just
But I
saying
wanna
because like
talk.
you can look back to the 60s and 70s in Los Angeles and just look at the skyline. Oh, look at that! You can't see it because of all the smog and whatever else, and it was horrible. And you could barely breathe there.
Yeah, engines weren't very efficient. Carburetors are not very efficient.
Yeah, well, exactly. But the modern cars actually aren't that terrible anymore.
And all right, let me piggyback on that. Modern cars are more efficient, but the funny thing is, the thing that EPA is going after right now, the tuners, they're making these engines even more efficient than the factories and getting busted for it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
They're getting more horsepower out of these engines, plus they're burning better, burning cleaner than they leave the factory, while making more horsepower. But yet they're the ones getting freaking, you know, held hostage in their own homes by, you know, raids trying to freaking nail them for fucking selling tuners. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh, it is. Like, I don't like what they're trying to do going after the aftermarket that way either because it's ridiculous. And that's the one thing that the electric car movement's going to do. It's going to kill off a lot of the aftermarket. 100%. Because, yeah, eventually they're going to be able to crack these electric systems when they start working on it?
They're not going to be able to do it anytime soon. And the thing is what exactly are you going to gain by doing that? The car has got its potential already there. You know, and honestly, they're going to get nailed real hard by cracking these cars because by unlocking certain features in these cars, they're actually going to be stealing money from the companies who are selling the subscriptions to allow those performance gains to be used. So basically, it's like, okay, like the old school days where people would hack satellite dishes and get free TV. You know, technically, it's stealing. So by hacking, unlike your gasoline engine where you're just tuning the car, you're not actually costing the original manufacturer any money. Whereas now, if Dodge is planning on having, I think they said it's going to be released with 3 power levels, and that they're going to ultimately have 9 power levels for the Dodge Charger that you have to pay for to unlock. And also they're going to have drift mode, donut mode, all these other modes that you have to pay for to use.
Well, the cops will appreciate that then, won't they?
Well, yeah, because I'm sure the cops will be able to say, hey, we've got car such and such, shut it down. And boom, you're done.
Donut mode. Pull up to the shop. Yeah, bring me some coffee out. We got the donuts covered.
I think it's just going to be, this is a disaster waiting to happen. Actually, it's not waiting. It's already happening. And it's just something I don't want to be a part. I mean, like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm anti-EV. I think they're cool. The Teslas are kind of cool. Yes. But do I want to be forced? That's my only option. No. Because it's not going to be everybody's option. You know? People out here where I live, EVs are not going to be economical out here. Nobody has the money to buy them where I live. I mean, okay, a decent house out where I live is $40,000. Some of these cars are going for more than people's houses are worth.
Oh, yeah, and actually, right now, the cheapest EV you can buy right now, I believe, is the Nissan Leaf still. It was supposed to be the Model 3, but that didn't happen. It's not a $30,000 car. That's a $50,000 car. The Nissan Leaf, if you can get it for MSRP, which again, it's not an enthusiast car. There's nothing special about it, and they're not a good-looking car either, in my opinion. It's $40,000 to go buy one.
Yeah, and Mr. John goes, I can't afford the batteries and the controllers, but I'd EV swap his Firebird. He said this earlier too, and that's great. I am not sitting here saying that anybody can't do whatever they want with their vehicle or buy what they want if it's available. That is not my point of view. My point of view is it's great to have options, but don't eliminate every other option just to suit yours. You know, don't just because you want these to happen, don't mean eliminate all the other competition so the only option is those. That's what's frustrating.
No, 100%. I absolutely agree with that. Because, yeah, like, forcing us into this whole thing is ridiculous. Like, now, are they going to outlaw, gasoline-powered vehicles? They can't. Because there's just too many of them.
No, they'll just do like everything else. They'll make it impossible to use them.
Yeah, and they've been trying that with the gas prices, but at least they finally come down, but my God.
Not really.
For a while
it's still $4.30 here, $4.30, $4.40.
Hey, I'm paying $2 a liter anymore. I'm paying $1.40. I am freaking happy with it.
Right, but the thing is okay, we raised the gas prices $1.30, $1.40, drop them 40 cents, and we're calling it good? No.
Well, the thing is, the average in the summer here, other than last year, which was an anomaly because of the gas war, is usually around $1.40 anyway. So it's about on par what it usually is.
Maybe where you're at. It's not here.
Yeah, for here. That's how it works here in Alberta. But also, it's it's all the stuff is here in Alberta. We have refineries here in Alberta too. So
ours normally would average around $3.20 to $3.30. We're $1 more than that.
Yeah, that is rough. I won't lie for you guys, and because I don't know
all within 6 months.
Actually, I can do the conversion on what I'm
less
paying
than
right
6
now.
months.
Let's see. I'm trying to think.
Remember, you got to convert that to U.S. gallons, not imperial.
Well, there is actually a conversion online for gasoline prices from Canadian to American. I'm just trying to remember how to put it.
For competition.
All right, like Big E says, gas where he lived used to be around $2.50-ish. It's now $4.38, and he doesn't pay for tax. We pay for we have a tax on ours.
Let's see. Right now, I can get gas for. Let's see. What is that?
Yeah, our gas was
right
around
now. For reference, what I am paying right now is $4.16 a gallon.
That's still high. That's still high for U.S.
For here, it's not terrible. Like, we've seen cheaper, yes, but that's not horrible.
Well, you guys have been paying more for a while than we have. Our gas prices, like Big E said, we're around anywhere between $2.50 and $3.30.
Yeah, which actually, okay, let me do let's see what's $3.30? $3.30. Yeah, okay, that's $1.13. Which actually, I have paid that within the past year for gas. That was last year that I did that. But that is so rare to find it for that cheap. And to be honest, to find around that price, that $3.30 price for you guys is about $1.13 here. I haven't seen that and to stay consistent that way for probably 6 or 7 years.
We have.
So
with the last couple of 4 or 5 years, it's been around three. It was actually dipped below. It was dipped below it was around $2.50 at one point during the last 4 years.
Well, if you're talking about last year with the gas war, I wouldn't even count that as much, only because it's such an anomaly.
I'm not talking about just the gas war, Cat. I'm just saying gas prices are about $1 more than what we're used to over the last couple of years. Since it went up above $4, like it only went up above $4 a gallon the last time it went up fucking super high. It was not above it was maybe just crested over $4 a gallon. We were looking at around $2 a gallon before it went up to $4 a gallon. I'm talking about around 2009, 2010-ish when it did that before.
Oh yeah,
it only went up to $4 a
interesting.
gallon. It only went up to $4 a gallon now. It went over $5 a gallon this time.
Yeah, well, I mean, even here, like it got stupid expensive for stuff here. Like what I saw, the most expensive one that I saw just driving around when I was $2.02, which per liter, which is just insane.
Well, yeah, and Biggie says it used to be $20 to $25 to put a quarter tank in his truck. It's now $40 or so. It's over $100 to fill my truck. To fill my truck is over $100, and it only goes like 300-ish miles.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, it's expensive to fill cars.
That's a tiny ass tire there, Joe.
Is it?
Yes, that's a tiny tire.
Well, I've got giant tanks, and I've got this Dodge rim I've decided to put on the front.
Why?
How does that look? You tell me. Do you think that looks good?
No. Right,
I think that looks amazing.
It's too round for that. We're not talking about the outside of the rim, but the spokes on them are too round for that style of truck.
Yes, I agree. There's no circles on this wheel whatsoever.
Yes,
I know what you mean.
There's a bunch of little circles.
I'm kidding.
But it's more.
Yeah.
The spokes need to be not so.
These are off my dad's truck. I decided to throw them on just to see, for fun.
Doesn't work.
That wheel looks like a birth control center experiencing a rash of pregnancies. Missing the rubber.
Wow.
All right. Oh, wow.
All right. Off they go. Off they go. You can find. I bet you there's some Chevy rims that look better than that on that Ford.
I would never, ever.
Except for the fact you're not going to fit a Chevy rim on that truck.
No, it wouldn't fit. Without an adapter, there's no Chevy rim that'll fit on that truck.
Yeah.
It's going to go.
Right in the garbage?
It's not 6 lugs, so.
Right in the garbage? Is that where it's went?
Yes, right in the garbage. No.
You see, you need
that
to
doesn't look like the garbage.
If you're gonna walk around pointing at shit, you need to make the sounds like that TikTok where he makes like those vroom vroom or ga or whatever noises. And you haven't seen that TikTok?
Wait a minute. Just come back to the wheel. Come back to the wheel. You got one thing you go. Oh no.
What are you guys talking about right now?
So if you don't know the TikTok life, then you don't understand.
Yeah.
There's a creator on TikTok that has created this sound that like almost all of a lot of automotive enthusiasts are using about like pointing at stuff on their rides and stuff.
Yeah,
and it's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, see, I think he might be the only Gen Z on the planet that is
TikTok?
Not on TikTok.
Well, that's okay. All of us ADHD people.
Are you?
Yeah.
All of us ADHD people may have started fighting TikTok and not wanting to be a part of it until somebody sent us something, and then we got it was like crack. We got hooked because
all of
it is
people.
It is nothing but crack for ADHD people.
Yeah, see,
and for regular people, that's why they're so successful.
Yeah, well, I was very, very hesitant in the beginning to do it, and the thing is, a friend of mine at the time kept sending me TikToks. I mean, I'd watch it, but I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm not making a TikTok. I'm not making a TikTok.
That was my downfall.
Yeah. Well, finally, I made one, and I only made it to just secure my sort of social platform name, right?
Yeah.
And
That's what I
then
did.
I started making content on there, and now I have a little more followers than I do on
I don't
YouTube.
necessarily use it for the content. I use it because I have short breaks and stuff at work, and sometimes YouTube videos are too long to watch during break, and then I get stuck in TikTok, and yeah. Or you're sitting on the shitter or whatever, and you just start flipping through it. Next thing you know, you spend a half hour on the toilet when you only really needed to poop for 10 minutes.
I spend way too much time on YouTube Shorts, so I guess that's why I never
It's
opened
kind of
TikTok.
like YouTube Shorts, but the funny thing is with the at least the TikToks, you can use stuff that you can't use on YouTube because copyright bullshit.
Yeah. Well, also, the one thing is with YouTube Shorts, a lot of those clips are from TikTok.
A lot
Yeah,
of them, yeah. A lot of them that don't get you demonetized for freaking copyrighted content.
Yeah.
Like I have used some of my TikToks on YouTube, but it's
Oh,
none of the
right.
ones with the music. And then what's dumb is if you want to use like
It's the same
copyrighted
music, but you gotta use the
on
YouTube version of that music.
Yeah, well, no, it's not even that. It's because I have played around more with shorts than you have,
Yes, you have.
right? And the one thing is, you can add any sort of music you want from YouTube's library, and literally anything that's on YouTube for music, you can use. But you're only allowed 15 seconds of it.
I know, it's
And
annoying.
your clip and your little 59-second clip gets knocked down to 15 seconds. It's
Oh, I hate
ridiculous.
Plus,
So-
not to mention, it's hilarious because like whatever takes off on TikTok, you can post that same one on YouTube. And the ones that take off on TikTok don't take off on YouTube, but the ones that take off on YouTube are dead on TikTok. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'll browse that a little bit. But yeah, and then
But anyway,
well, it's like it is interesting though because I posted a short the other day of it's just I think it's like maybe 15-20 seconds of just the two cars idling. That's all it was.
Yeah, no, I
They
saw
were
that.
both warmed up all the way, right? On YouTube, that went over 5,700 views, and anywhere else, it did nothing. So it was kind of weird. The one time YouTube has actually done me good. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you guys should help me find my torque wrench.
Buy a torque wrench.
Isn't there one that you hook up to your air hose? It just goes ugga dugga.
Yeah,
That's what we all use, isn't it? Or you get the whole ratchet on the end of a pipe, which it looks like you're using. That looks like a great torque wrench.
That's a breaker bar on the end of the pipe. Yeah.
Same thing. That's
same
you know. You know when the last time I'm gonna say this out on freaking. I'm gonna get roasted. You ready for this shit? You know when the last time I used a torque wrench on my lug nuts was?
1994.
I was 11, but okay. I haven't needed to because I know how a lug nut, one feels when it's right.
Yep, so do I. That's why
I don't use it.
Can't find the purple.
Now, if I'm building an engine, it's a different story.
Well, you're not using your impact engine. Come on now.
Maybe to tear
What?
the hell apart, maybe to zip them on, but the final torque, I still use a torque wrench because, again, kind of went to school for that shit.
You're no fun. Come on now.
Well, it depends. If it's some cheap ass freaking like Ford Mustang engine, sure. Just
Wow. Wow.
It's gonna blow up anyway.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Leave you on the side of the highway with freaking cooling all over the place. I mean,
I
Hey,
did.
it
Never
hasn't-
done that. You're
it
throwing
hasn't
dollar
done
bills
that
at a
in, like-
stripper, right?
It hasn't done that in like 6 months. It's fine.
it's just trying to initiate a wet T-shirt contest. That's all it's trying to do.
There you go.
It's trying to attract a crowd so it can run it over.
Well,
Whoa. That was a roadmap for that one. Holy cow.
see, the problem is that none of my Mustangs have enough power to do that. Period. They're too damn slow, both of them.
Yeah.
It's all fun and games anyway. You know damn well
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't need any of that shit.
Oh, exactly. Like, no, don't get me wrong.
Oh, it's-
Whenever I get the heads, and now hopefully they're the heads I think they are. If not, I'll have to get new pistons. Which
Well,
don't get me
I
wrong.
heard that
I'm
if you
fine
go
with
down
that.
to Amazon, they have headhunters down there. I'm sure they can find you what you're looking for.
No, 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 no.
Only I think that I'm funny. That we know this.
Yeah. But because one thing is, so do you remember that story I said when I was swapping my engine of, hey, this guy's giving me free heads and a free cam?
I think you went over this last week.
With the overbrook heads?
He didn't like the heads that he was going to give you, so he was giving you a different set of heads.
Yeah, the only thing that I don't know is which ones they are, because there's two different style of Elbrock heads. One is the 190 heads, which I could use my stock pistons and they'll be great. Otherwise not.
He says he's just picturing Cat trying to run somebody over and they just have their foot up against the grill holding it back like a small animal. So basically when Jess gets angry and she wants to come after me and I'm just like, okay. They're cute when they get feisty.
What are you talking about right now?
Huh?
They're talking about how underpowered my cars are. That's what they're talking about.
Well, that's like a a little short girl that gets angry. You're just like, yep. Just keep getting angry. You're cute.
Wow.
Yeah, although, because I was gonna say, so your truck that you're messing with, is that 202 or 351 in there? I can't remember.
It's a 351. I'm not some poor guy.
I think Mr. John might be behind like some people have been lately on my live streams.
Oh, check it out. You can tell it's a Forge. That's a Mustang in the rust right there.
Found rust on
driver's side. No.
There you go.
This here is hilarious. That is a Bondo horse. That is a Bondo Mustang right there. That's exactly what that is. Look at this Bondo. Now let me show you. Okay, this here is spray foam. Get a close up of this.
Yeah, we already. That was the demise of my poor Nova, was spray foam.
Yeah. I don't understand how you can do this to a truck and think, okay. And now look at the Bondo.
Got it to pass inspection. That was the whole point. That was back when Bondo was $10 a gallon.
Yeah.
Now Bondo is like $50-$60 a gallon. That hack is no longer a financial.
Well, no, because we moved on to fiberglass. Duh.
Fiberglass is so expensive. Have you seen the price of resin and fiberglass? It's just up there with Bondo.
It's still cheaper than doing a full paint job and doing rust repair properly.
Oh, this is crazy.
No, at this point, it's cheaper to freaking weld that shit and throw some primer on it.
Well, no. I'm talking about the people that can't actually afford it or don't know how to, weld or anything like that. The ones that send it out to a shop, yeah, for them to fix that properly, it's gonna total the truck for mechanical wise that way, right? Because for them to fix it, the rust that was on that truck was very rusty actually.
This truck? No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No,
still the cabin with Bondo there. And spray foam.
Oh no! I understand. It's actually okay. It's not gonna fall apart, but it's very rusty.
You give that thing. Okay, hold on. My Nova is a very good example of you give that truck another 5 to 6 years.
Damn it!
You give that truck, maybe not even. I'm the more I see falling off of this.
God.
Chris seen my car.
Oh,
my car looked mint.
Damn it!
6-7 years ago.
Hey, look at that! He made another Saturday Night Special. That's a hole his buddy can hit.
But spray foam. Somebody used spray foam and Bondo to fight a rust repair, and all that spray foam does is hold moisture right up to the rust that you don't want to be there.
I don't understand why anyone thought it was a good idea.
Yeah, well, fun fact, so does Bondo.
No, that fix did what it needed to do. That fix got it to pass inspection and probably sold that truck. The person who did that did not care if that truck lived another 2 years. They did not care. That sold that truck and got that away from whoever did that's problem. That became a problem for future owner. So it did what it needed to do. It's called hack accuracy, hack assery.
Shuck and
resale
jive.
job. Yep. It's slap it and sell it.
Where does this go? This is the puzzle. Hang on, this is an intricate one too.
See now,
think you're
what
missing
you're
a few
doing.
pieces.
See, every time you break off a piece of Bondo, you're making it faster because you're making it later.
That is very true. This is like concrete. Someone freaking probably put Quikrete on the side of this truck.
I told you when I first bought my Nova, I found what it was an 1.5 inch thick chunk of freaking Bondo behind my driver's side door.
I don't understand how you do that. I don't get people.
It got T-boned somewhere in the front driver's side corner and killed the door, the front fender. I still had, when I pulled everything off the front of it, there's still a freaking dent in the what is that called? The air, not the cowl panel, because that's on the top. What's the side of the cowl panel in front of the door?
Inner cowl support.
Whatever. I had a
Inner cowl
fucking that was pushed all the way in to the actual inner structure. When I pulled that driver's side fender off for the first time, and I saw that pushed all the way in still. Yeah, that car was hit pretty good at one point. We wondered why it crab walked.
Well, actually, because something with, my pride and joy Stitch out there, my 81, because when I found as much Bondo as I did, I knew there was Bondo in the car. I didn't know how much there was. I didn't know what they were hiding, right? Because a lot of the Bondo, I wasn't finding anything. It's like, what are you doing with all this Bondo? And it's because of one little spot. Well, two little spots. They were covering not very much rust with over 1 inch of Bondo on the freaking quarter. But then on the front side of the quarter, like in front of the rear tire on the passenger side, there's some good-sized dent there. Like, it's about the size of my fist, and it's pushed in a good couple of inches or so. And it was just covered with Bondo there.
Yeah.
And, instead of fixing it properly, it would take... Now, don't get me wrong. They could have attempted to do a little better job and then cover it with Bondo. That would have been okay with me a little bit.
There's always going to be some Bondo on a car.
Even, to be honest, some of the Bondo on that car may have been from the factory because that's what they did back then, right? It wasn't until the 90s that they stopped doing that shit. When quality was actually put into cars properly.
Well, no, I don't care. Right? Any car that... any freshly stamped metal is never straight. Okay, okay. My job is to make parts that go on a trailer. I can tell you from experience, from the stuff that I make every day, none of it is exactly perfect. It all has a slight wave to it or whatever, because as the dies wear out that make the part, it causes inconsistencies in the part itself. So when those sheet metal panels get stamped, there's going to be waves in them. And
are you seriously?
Yeah, I was already pointing down there, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? But anyway, by the way,
what I want to know... Bondo on his car.
Yeah, I got a stupid question. We have how many viewers right now? Why do we only have 3 likes? We had up to 8 people at one time. Come on, guys, hit the like button.
We never said rust is a crime. However, when you butcher it, like what he's doing here is fascinating to me. I understand.
Hold on. You ready? Okay, we'll all get a nice good look at this.
There we go. Yeah. Now, and if you ever try and sell this truck again,
that didn't work.
We are going to reference this in your ad.
Hold on. There we go. I got it. Figured it out.
Wow.
You're what?
He's actually doing. Okay, it's kind of funny.
You're losing subscribers as you go.
Now, okay,
I need to go unsubscribe, Joe. I need to go unsubscribe.
Yeah. Well, actually, okay. I have a question for Joseph. Have you ever actually laid Bondo before, or no? Just a general question.
Is he actually putting Bondo on that?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Or is that silicone?
Actually, I think it's just it's silicone or cream hardener. Because it took it out of a tube.
Yeah.
I think you muted your mic there, bud.
I can unmute it for him. No, I can't unmute it because he muted it.
Why did you mute it?
He muted it.
or it's glazing putty.
Oh, the thing. Oh, there. Okay.
Either way, it's not going to hold that together.
No, it's really not. Like, honestly, if you wanted to do a crappy job of it, just put a bunch of spray foam in it like they did before.
Yeah, like just go. Hold on. He can just go down to the local river and start pulling out some fucking clay right out of the damn river and slapping it on that shit.
Or just go to Walmart, buy some Flex Seal.
We're gonna stuff it with rocks. That's what you do that's what you do to take up space in concrete, not fenders.
Oh my god.
Oh my! You know what? This is a horror show. I need to put a parental advisory on this video.
Yeah.
You need one of those big round circles with the line through it. You know, no Ghostbusters or no this and all that.
Oh, he actually does have Flex Seal. Look at that.
That's foam something. Or is that what your guys' Flex Seal looks like?
Wow. Well, I thought it said seal. I thought it said Flex Seal. Maybe it did. There are different styles of Flex Seal up here, so. Or is it just a Ralcam black? That'd be funny.
Oh, yep, job fixed. Got it. It's a Ford.
See,
why does anybody care? It's a Ford.
Hey, now. I mean, that truck, yeah, nobody gives a crap about that truck.
Just run it into a freaking bridge pylon. End it.
Yeah, okay, I think he's trying to talk, but he's muted. I'm muting your mic.
How long have I been muted?
Forever.
Oh, 5
We've
minutes.
been sitting here totally roasting
my
your
God.
ass.
We were talking to you to say you're muted, bud, for about 5 minutes.
No, I don't know about that. I've been too busy with my project.
Wait.
No, I can't afford the Flex Seal. I had to use the leak seal.
No, it cannot be fixed yet. John, Mr. John in the comments is right. Where's the duct tape?
What?
Where's the duct tape?
Oh, it's right here.
Gotta slap a bunch of that shit on there.
That is very true. Can't have these rocks falling out. Well, Flex Seal, the leak seal will take it.
I'm not any better because I have aluminized tape on my freaking truck because it made it past inspection.
Yeah, see, now, the one thing is, now, okay, for this little spot, it's cool, but you need to make this into a video for your channel. You have to.
How am I going to do that?
Just fixing rust in my truck and then just start doing everything in the wrong way. On purpose.
Exactly.
It's all wrong, though.
But no. Do it, all right, fine. Do it the right way with complete conviction that you are doing it absolutely right. And my God.
I should have done this for
comments.
first.
The comments will be on fire.
No, you can
find out which one of his best friends has a fish tank. Go get the little rocks at the bottom that's got the goldfish pond in the bottom of it, and fill that in.
I actually have some of that.
Yeah, see now, what you can call the video is doing the right thing the wrong way.
There you go. That's true. That's a good point.
I mean, you're already doing this live on camera, so why not make a video out of it as a funny thing for YouTube that could explode?
What am I doing?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, my God, wait. Crap. I didn't know that. Okay, sorry, hang on. Here's the fish tank. I know we've got some rocks around here. Hang on.
God, did not automatically link your guys' stuff when I tried doing it the other way?
Wait, what?
It didn't automatically link your guys' channels like it did before.
Oh, straining the battery. Okay. I'm actually not unimpressed with this because no one would dare pull this off. And in either sense of the term, pull this off, no one would do that. So I could actually even patch that in there too. That's not a bad idea.
Mr. John, if you go into the description of the video down in the bottom, it is Teen Mechanic at the very bottom of the description. All three of my host channels are linked down in the description. Just so you know, it's down there.
The things I'll do for a shout out. Hang on a second. Hang on. I'm about to get in trouble.
Hey, you don't need to do this for a shout out. I can shout you out without you having to be doing stupid shit. But okay, don't need to go through those lengths. You okay about
I
that?
mean, do it right. You need to get some heavy-duty axle grease and spatula that in the middle of the hole because winter is coming. That'll be rust preventative. It's like undercoating.
Right.
Yeah.
There's places around here that literally spray. Was it oil or
Used motor oil. Yep.
Yeah,
Drain your oil. That's a Vermont undercoating. You drain the oil, whatever fluids you drain out of the vehicle, and then you spray it on the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's the one thing actually up here too, because we do have winter and whatever else.
Is that his dad or grandfather telling him that what he's doing is complete bullshit?
Probably. And to be honest, I don't blame him for doing it the way he's doing it. It's fine because look at the truck. Who cares?
I know. I was just looking at him, and then when he got out the Scotch tape and everything else, I was just completely dumbfounded.
Take the first left.
Yeah, like this makes me cringe a little bit.
Now,
but at the same time,
there's one more
it's
thing
like,
he
who
needs.
cares? What?
Actually, there's two more things he needs.
What's
He needs
that?
A roll of blue and a roll of green painter's tape so they can do pinstripes around it and highlight it.
God, that would be excellent. Dad, hang on a sec.
Oh my god. You guys are bad.
Hey, the one thing is here in Canada,
This should be child abuse.
Well, no, I grew up with this a show called The Red Green Show.
Oh my dad was just saying Red Green Show. I love that show.
Yeah.
But I was actually, that show was actually live, putting out live episodes when I was a kid.
Red Green Show. God, that is a fantastic show, and I didn't even think of it when I was putting the duct tape on. I was so disappointed.
Why do you think we thought of the duct tape?
Exactly. It's that's what I was saying. Because...
I'll tell you what. If he pulls out a plaid rag,
Turn left on
Press
Castle Road.
That would be awesome. Man, I've got a lot of plans there. So
Yeah, see now, that's what you could do. When you make your video, you could do a spoof of the Red Green Show, man.
yeah, absolutely I could. And that's what I'm
I
going to
keep saying this.
Okay,
You know
where
this
do the
today-
pinstripes go? Let's vote
hold
on this.
Did you guys ever hear who I said is the modern day Red Green Show?
No.
Vice Grip Garage.
Mm,
I think
Come
it's more Dead Grip Garage.
What?
yeah, no. He's
What's
being
that?
smart enough.
Where did the pinstripes go?
Follow the
we'll
body line.
highlight your repair on the edges.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
there
gotta,
you
you
go,
gotta
yeah,
box out
just-
the repair and then spray it in primer over top of everything and then pull the tape away.
So, like, where does it go?
On the edges.
No,
Around the edge of it.
You gotta
Yeah.
box
You
it.
got to highlight the edges.
Very good point. I wish I had blue painter tape. My dad says he does, but he doesn't know where it is. So I don't have the air time to look for it.
Yeah, oh, okay, no, correction. Vice Grip Garage is the modern day Red Green, as in, like, PC version.
It's not Red Green Show as in like duct tape and everything, but the way that he talks so reminds me of what's his name from the Red Green Show.
It sounds
And
like
I am going to Vice Grip Garage does not suck. He's one of the better, more to me. He's one of the
He's a
better
modern-day
automotive
hero.
YouTubers that are out currently.
And speaking of YouTube stuff, actually, so what might actually happen, which will be very cool, it's probably gonna be next summer, I'm assuming, because there isn't enough time this summer to plan this to put it in place. Well, so Coastal Auto Reaction wants to do a like YouTube sort of like automotive YouTube competition.
I had
And-
stopped watching his stuff so long ago.
I mean,
Sorry.
it's fine, but like the one thing is though, and it's gonna be like a charity event for missing people, which is awesome, honestly.
It's pretty cool.
Well, the one thing is, if it all works out and everything, I'm gonna be a judge for this competition, so it's gonna be really sweet. And like, we're gonna have like, if he can get in contact with the people that are there, like it's possible that because he actually
You're gonna get
apparently
interrupted
knows.
in a minute.
Okay.
Speed running a paint job. Yeah.
I'm waiting for
Clear
it.
coat and everything.
There you go. Four blue.
All right, I'm done.
Green
There
mechanic
you
is
go.
Canadian.
Huh? What? What did you just say?
Mr. John 613 builds says you sound Canadian.
Yeah, he is.
Nice sound,
Hi.
Canadian. There we go. Put the leak seal back. Actually,
I want you to back out on that track and hit the
Here's
pace
a-
car. Hit the pace car? Hit the pace car! What for? Because you hit every other goddamn thing out there, I want you to be perfect. Go on, go, go, go!
Okay, Joe, you can go back to stealing the show. you
Oh,
didn't know.
I
you didn't
unmuted
know.
my mic as soon as you muted it because
Well,
I'm
I
not paying
muted it for a
attention.
reason. I muted it because
I know. I caught on as soon as you muted it. Yeah, I'm just not paying attention. I know.
That's fine. You do your like Mr. John says. You do your thing, bro. Rock on. By the way, thank you for the super chat. I will. Are you above 1,000 subs yet, Teen?
Yep.
Okay. Next time
Absolutely.
you got to let me know when you're doing a live. So,
Oh, yeah.
I can repay Mr. John's favor back to you.
I appreciate that. I'll just turn the
Well,
speaker
he's-
set off by accident, I'm sure.
Well, I was gonna say, well, no, he's not monetized yet.
Oh,
No,
I thought he was.
Not yet.
No, he's at 1,000 subscribers, but he doesn't have the watch time.
Oh, yeah,
get
no,
that watch
right.
time up then.
I'm close then.
Somebody
Yeah, I
needs
gotta
to
do a
remind
live
me
anyway.
in 3 months when he gets his watch time up to you got 3 months, buddy. 3 months. You got to get that watch time up.
Okay. I'm sure I will find a way to do that. Now, look at the metallic.
There you
I'm
go.
happy with that.
That Ford
It is.
blue.
That was
Yeah.
gorgeous. That was gorgeous. Fits the rest of the truck.
I think the whole point was to not have it match.
Little known fact, this side is gorgeous. There's nothing wrong with this
Just need a
side
giant
whatsoever.
hey, you need a giant Band-Aid on that side of the truck.
There you go.
That
That's
is
perfect.
very true. Oh God, this. I actually
Or
love this truck.
just take a big Sharpie and have an arrow point it and say Hulk owes me money.
That's a great idea too. Oh my God, you guys have done this before, eh?
No, we just all
No.
sat here and watched all of the fucking automotive memes in the fucking world.
No, see, we all have watched a lot of Roadkill. So,
Oh, yeah, that's true. God. Well, I don't know. I'm happy with this. I am very happy with this, as is every teenager in the world.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
see now,
That'll
I
last
could
you
never,
about 3 months in the sun.
Yeah, I will say I could never say that with a straight face and say I'm proud of that ever in my life.
No, I have OCD.
No, I
and
didn't.
everything
I said
else
I'm
that
happy with
can't.
that.
I
Yeah,
couldn't
I
even,
couldn't
I
say
couldn't
that
even
either,
look at that and be
Oh,
happy.
oh, better yet, he's got a whole shelf there. Hell, he needs to pan the whole shelf slow. Let us find stuff he can grab off it to throw on.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Look, you can solve
ahead.
you can solve your rust problem right there, right in the center of the screen.
This,
There you go.
Oh,
That's
CLR, yeah, baby.
The whole truck.
Man.
Wait, don't do that. I'm not responsible if that whole truck disappears.
okay, fine. But
You might want to
just
put
gotta-
that back because I'm sure the rust is what's holding that truck together.
You're probably not wrong.
Maybe.
Yeah, you
Unless
want
you're
how
going to
do I
replace
avoid
that
rust
rust with
cancer?
duct tape, you need to put duct tape across that whole truck before you even touch that stuff to that truck. Because you
Well,
even
see,
touch
now-
that stuff to that truck,
Go
it's just
through all
going
the
to
duct
disappear.
tape, man.
Well, see
God.
now, the one thing is with this truck, because like obviously he tows with
I
it
need
and
to
everything
edit
like
my
that.
video because it has no longer been about EVs. We just need to get rid of that.
We started with EV.
Yeah, but no, we need to get rid of that. Because we started all of 5 minutes.
I'm just gonna
Oh,
keep
wait a
on
minute,
going,
wait a minute.
and
Now,
then this started.
you can work here. You can work here. I mean, come on. What's the problem with EVs? The disposal of the batteries, right? What happens
No,
when the
there's
batteries
more than that.
indisposed improperly? Look at his truck. You end up with holes. It eats stuff away.
I'm pretty sure that there's more. I think we discovered what was it? EVs are basically going to be pay to play for everything that you want to do on them. The batteries freaking themselves being processed and made. There's so many things wrong with EVs. EVs are a cash grab. That's exactly. And the thing is I never even got to actually talk about what pissed me off about Dodge to begin with. I even made a comment on somebody's Instagram post of the unveiling. I think I said something to the effect of, because somebody made a comment about, oh my God, that sound. I said, the sound is fake. The whole thing's fake. It's nothing but a freaking, it is the automotive industry's version of a blow-up doll. Is exactly what I quoted.
Well, that's actually funny. But actually, the one thing I will say, you're really duct taping your mirror. That's hilarious.
That will automatically fail in PA.
Here's the thing. His insurance does not require inspections.
No, you would get pulled over by the cops for having that mirror blocked.
Oh, they don't care.
No, I've heard just get stuff done.
Yeah, here in PA, you would immediately get freaking pulled over for that.
Yeah, well, because the one thing is, up here, interestingly enough, the only mirror you're actually required to have on your vehicle is the rear view mirror. On the windshield.
In a truck, you're not required to have that in here in PA.
Yeah, well,
you don't even have to have the ability to look through the back window in PA because it's considered a utility vehicle. Your side mirrors can't be blocked.
Well, because the one thing is, depending on the truck here, it's the same. But little half-ton truck like that or 3/4-ton truck, no, I don't care.
I can completely spray paint my back window black. And it's perfectly legal, which would make would make that center mirror completely useless. But I'd have to have my side mirrors.
Well, I just think I don't know. I don't really care about the mirrors. It's just this is an XLT Lariat. Okay, that just spells out options, and it doesn't have power mirrors or power gas tank doors.
Oh.
So I have to be able to adjust my mirror. Yeah, I have to be able to adjust my mirror
one way
while I drive. Do you know what I'm saying? You see how this works?
Oh
see?
My God.
If it's a Lariat, you need to glue some little rope lassos on the side around the holes. That'll help border it off wherever you go to fill it in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you actually wanted to redneck that, you just use some fishing line and just drill a hole into your
bungee
the metal
cords.
in there.
It's not quite dry yet.
Bungee cords. You got to bungee cord it. And
Yeah,
not those nice rubber ones with the hook on the ends. You got to get those ones that are like the braided line.
Yeah, I have those.
The ones you can get for like 20 for $5 at the dollar store.
Yeah,
it's not done right. He's got to do at least one spot with the zip tie stitches to make it look like Frankenstein.
Hey, don't
there you
be
go.
on my freaking dead Kia.
How do I do that again? Tell me how to do it. I'll do it right.
What? Your zip
I'll do it
tie
right here.
stitches?
Okay, now tell me how to do it.
First off, you need a drill because you don't have enough holes in your body.
Well, I've got a drill.
Yeah, you got to drill. You got to drill a hole in the top, hole in the bottom.
You have to drill 4 holes.
Zip it tight.
Is this bit big enough?
Yeah, if you can fit a zip tie through a hole, that's fine.
Well, I don't know. I can't quite tell.
Depends on the size of your zip ties.
Well, this covers probably about 2 of them, so I'd say that's not so bad.
You need at least 2 zip ties per stitch.
Oh, no. No, you don't. That's a myth.
Damn it. There's your bungee cords.
There you go.
Right
There's
Where?
On the screen.
Oh, there's
one. Oh, he's got one. He's got one.
There you go.
Okay. Now what do I do with it?
Anywhere. Just put it anywhere. Hold your tailgate. Hold your tailgate.
Got any holes in that? Got any holes in the tailgate?
Yes, I do. Lots.
There you go. Go from the back. Go from one of those emblem holes.
One side to the other. One side to the other.
The square corner on the end. There you go. Good.
That looked pretty good. I think that looks pretty good. Oh boy.
You put that away before your truck falls apart.
Okay. I just I can't.
Your truck is shaking in its boots when you brought that near it.
I just don't want it to fold in half. I'm putting gas in it.
I know how
it's getting exciting.
Yeah.
No gas
You used to bleach your antifreeze and pour it on the back tires, take it out to the driveway and do a burnout. I mean, what the heck?
Yeah, bleach is the best thing for that. As far as the
No,
FDA
no,
is
no, no,
concerned.
get that out of the bed of that truck. Get it out of the bed of that truck. Your truck's gonna fall apart.
I'm
Back on
just
the shelf.
putting
Put it
the
back
lid
on the
back on.
shelf. Keep that
I'm
away
just
from
putting
that
it
Ford.
back on.
Now,
It looks
okay,
pretty good.
I do have a genuine question about that truck, though.
What's that?
Because, okay, obviously, there's a ton of body rust, but is there any actual structural issues with our truck?
Not a thing. Not a single thing. It is absolutely golden.
Put
Hey,
the
good.
screwdriver right about there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the frame looks good.
The frame looks fantastic because it's solid as a rock. Now let me
I
find a
don't know.
screwdriver.
That
It-
looks
it-
screwdriver. That
it
looked like
changed.
that spot right there would be afraid of a screwdriver.
Okay.
Well, no,
How did
he-
you get
he's
Dwayne
talking about the
Johnson
frame.
convinced to hang on
Yeah, I was
underneath there while
talking
you
about the
drove down the
frame.
road?
You know, this is probably
Right?
sharp enough.
Right?
You just got to find something stabby it with. Yeah, obviously
anything you
that's
can
gonna
saddle with.
that's gonna fold like a child losing his freaking lollipop.
Here you go.
You
Here's
said
one.
your frame's solid like the rock. I want to know how you convinced Dwayne Johnson to hang on underneath there while you drove down the road.
That's why I can drive this in the winter. It's rear-wheel drive. Okay. Now, where exactly would you like me to stab my frame?
Just start stabbing.
Wait, is
Bending
that
my
a crack? Is that a frame crack?
No, that's water.
Okay. Hey,
You scared me
hey,
for a second.
AKA
okay, that is
CLR
water.
because it
Because
drips through the bed.
when you're on camera, it didn't show the detail of it. I thought that was a crack
It
in the
does look
frame.
very
does
much
look like a crack.
especially with the color of the frame being distorted right there.
Oh
Yeah,
my
oh, yeah.
god. No, there's no structural issues at all.
Okay,
I'll stab a
that's
screwdriver
good.
right there where that water is right then there.
Yeah, this frame is solid. I love this truck. It's awesome.
Because I mean, I've driven one of your sketchy vehicles, so I know what you put up with. But
No, that was not that sketchy. That
yes, it was. Oh my god, yes, it was.
okay. All it needed was ball joints and tie rods, both inner and outer, pitman arm,
Just
idler
the
arm,
whole
and a steering
suspension.
gear.
Got it. We got
That's
it.
it.
It's the whole
Yeah,
suspension.
yeah. The suspension and the steering was awful. Like, because the one thing is, like,
All of the
driving
things
his
that keep
car.
you from having an accident at freaking 50, 60 miles an hour.
Well, also, like, okay, so driving his car, like, I get into it. The first thing I see, I look down. Hey, look, there's the road down there. Cool. Okay.
Flintstone brakes.
Ventilation hole.
Then the steering wheel, you know, it starts to clog like this. It's like that is how it's clogged. So it's like, okay. You know, and driving it, it's like you could do about 50 or 60 degrees to the steering wheel and it wouldn't move. It's like, okay.
But that's
So this
normal.
Just don't look at the steering wheel while he's driving it. It's all good.
Yeah, well, I was driving it. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I
Then
was
just
driving
don't look at the steering wheel while you're driving it.
it. Well, and it also, so going down the road too, like, it pulled so hard to the right. Like, oh my god, hard to the right. At
Not
the time.
really.
Oh, it did. Absolutely.
Oh,
It did.
The tire
Yeah.
companies will be happy for his business.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
like,
the morgue loves me.
I will say right now, because of the tires I have on Stitch, she pulls to the right at the moment. It's just because of the tires. It's fine.
These tires-
How do tires make it pull to the right?
Shut
it's
up.
be-
God, let's keep stuff.
It's because the way that they're dry rotted, plus with the how they've rubbed away at the treads on the rear. That's how they did that.
Okay,
They were directional
I'm
right
going to give
retreads.
you a sound piece of advice here, Kat. Get them tires off that car.
Oh,
Do I need
honestly-
to show you proof of why?
Oh, I know. Like, the one thing is, those front tires, they're going to be off of the car for wintertime anyways, and they're going to be turned into
Okay.
smoke next summer.
Hold on.
So don't worry about that.
So I'm gonna tell you a little bedtime story here. So I had a set of BF Goodrich.
There it is.
What the hell were they?
What is this? Is
Radio
this find it
TAs?
clean? Is this like brake clean?
I don't know. So anyway, so I had a set of BF Goodrich radial TAs. Now get this shit. They came off of a Mustang.
Okay.
Okay, they were dry rotted. Okay, but they were cool because they were they were wide boys, right? I had them on my car, and I had them on my car for a little while, and we were taking a trip in the morning. Me, my girlfriend at the time, and our kid were off to my kid's doctor's appointment, going down 422 at about 55, 60 miles an hour, and the whole tread let loose on that tire.
Oh, see, the thing is, where the dry rot is, it's not concern dry rot. It's
Mine
in
wasn't
between.
either.
It's not on the sidewall.
It was
It's
not
in
on
between
the
treads.
sidewall. It was on the tread.
Okay. Well, it's also not that deep current.
It
So-
didn't look that deep. I can show you pictures of the way these tires looked. They didn't look bad.
Oh, I used the depth gauge on it. They're not that deep.
But I'm saying is,
I physically had a tire shop look at them and said, like, yeah, you should run those, but it's okay if you did.
that's the reason how they ended up on my car. I'm just telling you. I lost the whole side of my car. I literally lost the whole driver's side of my car because the tires were okay.
Because it was built like my truck.
Because the tires were okay, I lost the whole side of my car. Door handle on my driver's side door, everything. It ripped it off.
Oh, like, trust me, it'll be fine. Like, I know those tires, like those front tires, they need to be replaced. Absolutely, they're going to be replaced next year. Because I have a month left of driving before I go to winter tires. Anyway, this is Alberta. You know, anybody that doesn't put winter tires on in like September is cheating death at that point. But yeah, so that's what I am gonna do.
Can you
So,
see
What
the
did you
tire
say?
mark? Can you see the tread marks on my door?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. My tires are fine. I promise you.
You said
They're
you
not.
lost the entire side of your car.
Yeah. All right. Do you see this mess down here? This is the tire. It's still on there. You see there is no tread left on it.
Yep.
It ripped all of that out. There's
That
the
is rust,
backside.
my friend.
No.
If
no.
I've ever seen rust.
Yeah. No. Do you see that it mangled my whole rear quarter?
Yeah, because it was rusty underneath.
Yeah, well, if a tire blows apart while you're going down the road, it can actually destroy a fender very easily.
It can rip
Absolutely.
the whole wheel well out.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like
It ripped the door handle off of my driver's side door.
yeah, I won't have that issue. I promise you. Because the rear tires, I need to get them balanced, and then they'll be fine. But those front tires, like I mentioned, they're only be on for another
Wait,
month.
hold on. Jesse says it
And then-
didn't even blow out. Not that bad as far as safety. No, it threw a gator. It like I don't understand how. No, it didn't blow out. It lost the whole tread. It ripped the tread off the tire and was flinging that tread through the air along the side of my car, bad enough that it got to my driver's side door handle, which is a good 2.5 feet in front of that tire. And it ripped the door handle off the side. Can you imagine if my arm would have been sitting where it normally is on the outside of that window? Right above that door handle?
What it meant. But yeah, like I mentioned though, it's not. Trust me, it won't do that. I've had them checked out at a tire shop, and this is a reputable tire shop.
Like,
Not-
believe me,
Jesse
I
said-
ran some pretty sketchy tires myself. Did you see the tires that were on here?
Hold on.
I put them in the dump.
Jesse said it didn't put you in a ditch. I was in the fast lane of 422. I literally had a concrete barrier next to me. And yes, it moved my whole car over half a lane in rush hour morning traffic. I could have ran into the side of another vehicle. I just was able, the whole car went down and then immediately up as they lost the tread, and the whole entire turned into a donut. Because obviously without the tread, there was nothing to keep the top of that tire flat, and it just donutted.
Yep. You cheated death. That was a scary experience, for sure.
But, and again, I had my kid and my girlfriend in the car at the time. So,
Well,
It could
Let me show
have
you
blown
something
out.
hilarious.
It could have blown out.
Hang on
I'm
a
just
sec.
lucky it just
There it is.
shucked the tread.
Here it is, Richard. Hang on, let me show you something hilarious.
Do you still have your blowout tire?
Yes. Okay. Check this out. Oh, there's a spider making a home inside of there.
Oh, what do
I've
you
just
think was gonna
destroyed it with
happen when
my
you
hand.
left it at
Are
the
you
next to a
surprised
fence?
by that?
No. Okay. Look. Here's my 1990 Sears tire that exploded across the Sears logo while I was driving on foot.
Yeah, see, my tire's not that old.
It's
My
not from
tires.
1990?
No, my front tires are. What is the date code on those? I think they're 7 years old. But they are.
No, look on the DOT on these guys.
There you go, Mr. John. That is exactly what I was trying to say. Play it safe with tires, brakes, and steering. Patina on the body is cool, but always keep important components maintained. Exactly.
Oh, and I do. Trust me, I do. Like,
well, we're more. You know, it was a. You can choose to do with the information I gave you what you will. I have been in enough situations where I have seen friends hurt because they said it was okay, and next week it wasn't.
yeah, oh, yeah,
It's gonna be okay, I'm sure, this time.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna
You
be
keep
fine.
playing that game
So-
of Russian roulette.
I love
Yeah,
Russian.
Yeah,
You
I
like Russian roulette, so
okay,
you're
I
freaking
don't
giving
run,
them more business.
I don't run super old tires on my cars hardly ever. These tires, like, yeah, are they a little dry rotted? Yes, they are. But honestly, like I said, I haven't been checked out by a goddamn shop. Like, Christ.
It's
I
all good.
don't know what you guys don't understand about that part of it. A reputable shop. It was only a month ago because I'm like,
Or they
this is not concerning.
okay.
This is a shop that one of the only shops of two shops that I trust in town to work on my car. I have the owner's phone number personally.
So at the
I
end, I mean,
trust very many people working on my car.
at the end of the day, John, I guess Katarina's instinct was exactly correct and like yours, right? Like you had it checked out, and they said it was fine. And then I've had my school tell me that my dry rotten tires are okay, and they're dealing with a student, so it's.
Well, your
Okay.
tires were way too old to be running on a vehicle. So
Not
I
the
will say that.
T-Bird. Not the T-Bird. They told me that I was cheating death. That was something else. I'm talking about all my other cars.
Oh, I'll
They're not
leave
that
it
fun
as
either.
it is what it is till it isn't.
Yeah, well, and like I said, they're only going to be on for another month. And even then, I'm not driving very far right now.
Look at how blingy these white walls.
Yeah, they're awesome.
You can have these. No, I'm kidding. I need those.
I don't have a vehicle that they would fit on anyways. So it's
You
fine.
don't have 15-inch rims that are.
It's the bolt pattern, dude.
You don't. No. I'll keep the rims. I love the rims. They're black and they're steel. They're amazing.
Yeah. Okay, so put white walls on a Mustang.
Of course. Why wouldn't you?
That's
White walls belong on everything. Everything. This truck would have white walls if I was given the chance. What happened to Sean?
He said be right back. Okay, so we're gonna run the show now. Cool.
Yeah. Looks like we're getting back to red green.
There you go. But yeah, it's it's one of those things. Like, and I take safety very seriously with my vehicle. I really do. It's just this little thing is not the end of the world right now, and I haven't even taken that thing on like the proper highway in a while because I've been driving legal all over the place.
Yeah, is this? Oh, so it's stitched. It's got these tires.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a really cool Rodals that I have on it right now that has a giant, fat, tall tires in the back, and then skinnier tires up front.
Yeah, staggered, sort of. Yeah.
Hey, it's awesome. It's got a little bit of a range, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry,
It looks
I
fantastic.
needed another drink to deal with this conversation.
All right. Well, let's talk about something else, like my truck.
Hold on. I got a thing for that. Hold on. You can do. We can talk about your truck.
No, I'm kidding. No one wants to talk about my poor truck. I love it. No one else does.
Yeah, that's a. To be fair, it's just a basic truck that I see all over the place, especially in that condition.
I don't see them all over the place.
You don't live out in the country. That's your problem.
Yeah, I know. I see them all the time, and even at Bragg Creek.
Exactly.
But-
You know, you live in Calgary, where actually the EV movement's a thing.
Yeah. That's true. I hate that thing. Well, okay, look. The interior, nearly mint. The odometer has 172,000 on it, which is the same as my T-Bird at 110,000 miles.
It's rolled over twice. Don't kid yourself.
Actually, that's not true because it's a 6-digit Odo, my friend.
Oh, hey.
So then you're giving Ford credit. Okay, sure. Yeah, okay. It's rolled over 3 times, actually. It's got 3.1 million clicks on it. Yes, it does.
I think the highest mileage Brick knows out there is 1.2 million miles.
How do you know that? Where did you get that information?
I read an article on it a while ago. I'm pretty sure it was Brick knows.
Hey, we're being graced by a celebrity.
Yes, I know myself.
No.
Oh, hey, Roy.
Roy
There you
Marco's
go.
in the chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
See, now, here's the thing. If you want to talk about, like, old, sketchy tires,
Well, he
Roy,
just said he's
but
got
actually,
bias
Roy
plies on
is-
his 56.
I've driven this 56. Like, those tires, very old bias plots. It was weird driving it because it throws you around all over the place.
They don't have the
hard
strength in the sidewalls like a modern tire does.
No, it doesn't. And it's, it was cool driving it. And the one thing is, now at the time, I don't know if he's adjusted the brakes, but they were adjusted way too far at the time. And so, like, anytime you press the brake, like, not even a full, like, stamp on it, it would just lock up the brakes up there.
Oof.
Every time.
Yeah, that is not good.
It was fun. There was, if you just stopped, like, normally, no big deal. But if you had to do a little bit of a panic stop, but not, like, slam on your brakes panic, it would lock up the brakes.
Oh,
but it is four-wheel drive.
The other thing is to add to the topic that we were talking about, making sure that stuff is up to snuff when you're driving stuff. I mean,
why are you doing that?
Hold on.
I'm kidding.
So anyway, yeah, sketchy stuff is whatever it is, whatever. But I mean, like, had everybody seen that accident with the Ford, the red car that's been viral the last like 2 months or whatever?
I don't know.
What the hell was it? They were doing some review on a car or whatever, and the owner was driving it, and they were having brake issues, and they ignored it.
Yeah.
Not only were they having brake issues, they were having transmission issues and throttle sticking issues and brake issues, and they ended up running into the back of a minivan. And so it's not just your safety whenever you take a vehicle out on the road. I mean, unless you're just tooling around somewhere that's like not populated, because I've done some sketchy shit on roads that don't have people on them.
Yeah, I drive
but when you're
sketchy stuff.
driving,
Roy can attest. My vehicles aren't sketchy.
Yeah,
he's the only other person in here that has actually driven my car.
Right.
So I will say that.
I'm not saying that Roy is sketchy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying in general, if there is something that is maybe not perfectly right on your car, check it out, make sure it's okay, and don't just drive it and say, we'll deal with it later, because you might not have a later to deal with it.
Yeah, I already said I got it checked out.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know why we're so.
I don't think that there's a cavalier attitude involved.
Yeah, no, trust me, I was a little worried about it, but then I got checked out this thing. And yeah, like, don't get me wrong. They had the same thought I did, just like, yeah, after this year, turn them into smoke, because that's what he said. I'm like, okay, I can do that, because I got a car for those burnout.
Can you do that is the real question.
You keep knocking on that Ford, and you're going to have more Ford on the ground than you have on your chassis.
Well, I'm just testing the waters.
Well, unless you have the ability to fix it right now, don't test it.
I've got the ability. I just proved that to you. And then I took my repair out and lit it on fire. I'm sure it's already combusting in the garbage can.
Yeah.
With that chemicals I used, yeah.
Yeah, Roy, if you go back in this live stream and see the sketchy thing he did to fix the rust on his vehicles, it's great. You'll love it.
You mind? Chill back there.
You won't cringe at all, considering, Like, and Roy, for anybody that has worked with him, he's pretty much a perfectionist when it comes to his stuff. He doesn't
I've
like
seen
stuff
his-
that's,
I've seen his videos.
you know.
I've watched a lot of his
physically worked
videos.
with him though too. Yeah.
When it's something that I care about, it's a perfectionism issue for myself too. Actually, there's a video that I still haven't even released, so I can't even talk about it yet.
Well,
I can talk about it. You won't freaking know what I'm talking about. I clear coated the hood of that truck, and I got very, very angry at the end of the video.
we already know, perfectionism, because like it took me what, like 6 months just to get this truck this far.
Yeah, like I am. Well, with what he was doing on there, no, my truck, yeah, because I made it so it's not sketchy on the highway with the spoiler on the back of the car. It works.
I'm sure.
Was that
Um,
still lifting it off of the ground?
Huh?
What did you? What?
I said, was that spoiler lifting it off of the ground?
No,
Oh.
no, because
Where am I getting that
okay. I don't know. There are spoilers out there that will actually create lift in the back and not downforce. That's a thing.
from?
But my spoiler is a knockoff of a Celine spoiler. And the one thing is, on early Fox bodies with the 4-cylinder or the inline 6, potentially early V6 cars as well with the 2.8 may have had this problem too, but that I don't know. Is they have a big issue going on the highway with front end lift. They all did it except for the V8 cars. They were heavy enough on the front end where it wasn't a big deal.
My Nova had a problem of whole body lift.
Well,
The whole car did not like going above like 120. It was not happy.
well, yeah, 20 isn't highway speeds. That's almost double some highway
Anything
speeds.
above 90,
you.
anything above 90, you could start feeling the car get light, and yeah, we got it up to 130. That was the highest that we felt like going.
Yeah, I haven't gone that fast in either of my cars.
The fastest I've gone is 160, and that was a Camaro Z01 1LE.
Well, okay. What about your classic cars? How fast have you gone in that? Because new
Nova.
cars doesn't matter how fast you go with those.
The Nova.
Because they'll.
My cars. Okay, I only have 2 classic cars. The one I've never had above 80, that was the TA. Never had that car above 80. And I didn't have it on the road long enough. And 2, the Nova. The Nova's the only one I had above 130, and that was sketchy as fuck. I mean, the windshield wipers all came up, pointed straight up in the air. The whole car got freaking squirrely. It did not like anything above 100.
Oh, yeah, see, sticks right now, I've gotten up to 178 kilometers an hour, which is 110 miles an hour. And it still had a little bit left in her, but I was running out of road, so I had to slow down.
Roy says the
yeah.
car is shaped like an airplane wing, so it only want to lift. My Nova, maybe, because there's a hell of a lot of space underneath of that car to get air under it. And it didn't have a front air dam, nor did it have any rear end downforce whatsoever. The TA, on the other hand, I think is a pretty much of a different story. That whole thing is, it has the fairings and all that. They're not necessarily for show. The whole point of those is downforce.
Yeah, well, and, it's kind of funny, though, because even Ford knew it was a problem with those early Mustangs, that every single Fox body at 100 kilometers an hour has a yellow line that basically says caution. Every single Fox body. And it's kind of funny because Ford is famous for that sort of stuff. Of getting cars out in the market that's a little sketchy, but we'll deal with it later.
We won't talk about the Firestone and freaking Explorer issue.
Yeah. There was also the Bronco 2 issue and the Pinto issue. Yeah.
Was the Bronco 2 an issue in and of itself?
Yeah.
Yes, because the engineers at Ford knew about it. They knew this was going to be a problem with them tipping over. Now, they had a fix for it, which would have only cost them back in 83, $5 a car to fix this. And they said, nah, it's fine. We'll deal with the lawsuits. It's going to be cheaper.
Are you sure you're not thinking about the Pinto because it was $11 a car and they knew about it and they had that fixed for it and they decided that it would be cheaper to deal with the lawsuits? Did that happen twice?
This happened more than twice with Ford.
But like that exact scenario, though?
Yeah. Ford's done that, I believe, 3 times total. And, because, the one thing is, but any of these, let's be honest, any of these small SUVs that are not very wide and tall have a tendency to tip over, right? And Ford knew about it, and all they had to do was these strengthening bars, which wasn't that expensive back in the 80s, to get it proper, but they said screw it. Now, they did not get I will say with the Bronco, though, is they didn't have the recall for it, though, like the Pinto. But they just didn't care. Because it wasn't... Because they were all doing it, so it wasn't a big deal.
Wow. Well, I still love Ford because I am just a sheep. Actually, I'm not a sheep. Everybody hates Ford. That's why I love them. So I guess I'm a black horse.
I don't think really everybody hates Ford, but that's just...
everybody hates Ford.
They just like ragging on Ford. But then again,
what
if you got a
truck
Dodge,
looks
they
like
rag on
when it's
Dodge.
lifted.
I don't think it really matters what you have. I don't think it really matters what you have. Somebody will find a reason to rag on it. By the way, if you are in here and you have not hit the like button, please do and share this out with your friends. The more people we get in here, the wilder the conversations get, and the more fun everybody has.
What the hell is going on here?
I don't know.
I don't know what's
We're all
going
getting
on.
dizzy.
Well, sorry about that. I'm walking around.
Which you never just sit in one place ever.
I can't.
You're on a podcast. Sit down and be the podcaster.
I thought you said, in your own words, if you ever have something that you're working on or you're out in the garage and you're cleaning up whatever you're doing, share it, right? So I'm not just going to sit in the middle of the floor right here.
Do I need to change your name to your new nickname that Jess gave you?
Oh, no, I don't remember what it was, but I don't want to know. I don't want to remember.
You have been dubbed the Spicy Child.
I'm not very spicy.
No. You are very spicy. It does not take much of...
I've been drinking Frank's hot sauce lately. I know, and that's not a hot sauce, but I've just been drinking it like it's milk, right? That's just what I do. I'm half kidding.
Your nickname is Spicy Child is because it doesn't take us much to rile you up.
Yeah.
What? Oh no, that's just my demeanor. I am so level-headed. Trust me. Do you not believe that I'm level-headed? Are you kidding me?
Do I need to call Jess in here?
Yeah, it's God.
Spicy Child.
It's
Oh, there we go. There's my 22-ton jack stand.
I will say, technically, I've driven 2 of Joseph's cars, but
where
the Cadillac was only around the block.
Who's got a Jeep?
What's the Cadillac and the Matador?
No,
those are the
Mr.
2
John
of your
said
cars.
full Jeep.
I know what you're getting at. You can drive the truck if you really want.
Where's the Jeep?
Yeah, Jesse said that he bought a Jeep.
Okay.
Yeah, read.
I was
use
reading.
your eyes and read.
But I can only
clearly
read so
not.
much before I start reading and not paying attention to the actual conversation. I cannot read and pay attention to the conversation at the same time.
You can't multitask?
See,
I
you're
have
ADD. You should be
ADHD.
able
Would
to.
you leave me alone?
No, I'm saying you can't multitask, then you're a normal human. Humans are not designed to multitask.
No, I can't. Like, some days I can sit here and I can listen to 3 conversations and follow all 3. But if I have to read and follow something, I can't do it. Jess loves watching the
ADHD, dude. That's just freaking being a normal human.
Yeah,
Jess?
see now, Roy, this is why when I come visit you and if we work on my cars are classic Ford, so it's fine. It's easy to work on.
Where did these go?
You know, which... Oh, there's a pilot. There's a wild pilot in the chat.
We are now ready to fly. Unless there's another pilot in our chat that we don't know about.
Yeah.
There we go.
You know, who knows? One of these days, I might take him up on the offer to build me a supercharger kit for my Inland 6. Maybe. We'll see.
You haven't taken a dude up on that offer? Are you kidding me? Well, I guess I have nothing to supercharge.
I currently don't have the the $500 he
Why
said
is
in
Ford-
materials plus whatever his time would be.
Wait. Why is he saying
Yeah,
Ford is
just-
better than Kia?
I
like my Kias.
Okay,
Man, that's a nice brand.
yeah, depending on modern Kias are fine. Old Kias were trash.
I have no idea of old Kias. I just know I have a 2000. Oh, well, we had a 2011 and a 2012 Kia Soul. We are now
The
down to
one
one.
ate.
It ate the deer and spit it out. It used to have an appetite for birds, and that was more its size. It apparently attempted to eat a deer, and it bit off more than it could chew. It did. It used to eat birds constantly.
Not this bird.
Yeah. Although I will say, Roy
Hang on.
probably has the most experience working on,
Probably.
Fords and Kias, so he can probably say that.
I don't know. I work on my Kia. Well, not all the time. Right now, it just needs a freaking windshield wiper, washer pump. And I thought I bought the one that it's supposed to have, but it only has the one port to go out to the front windshield. It doesn't have the second port to go to the rear, whatever they call the rear glass.
Oh, there you go.
Kia engines and transmission. Well, I'd say the gray Kia has a transmission-ish issue, and I think the green Kia slightly had an engine issue, but it was more of probably an oiling issue where it likes to burn oil. But yeah. It still didn't. It had 200 and what? It had almost 230,000 miles when it died. And it took a deer to stop it.
John, they do make electric Kias. Just saying.
Oh, yes, they do.
Yeah, they make a Soul EV.
They make.
It
Oh, yeah.
looks weird.
Yeah, they do. And the Stinger had
weird looking.
an EV option too, didn't it?
No, not the Stinger. The Stinger was they had one option for it, which was the Stinger and the Stinger GT. The GT had 365 horsepower in all-wheel drive. The regular Stinger had like 300 horsepower in rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, they did use it. There was an electrical issue at one point. Yeah. Thankfully, none of ours had that issue.
So you're kind of proving his point.
Well, no, mine didn't. I didn't have the electrical issue, but I do know that some of them caught fire. Yes.
And actually, the only vehicle I've worked on that has caught on fire was the Suburban. Other than that,
Sorry, you just cut it. Did you say Suburban?
yeah, the Suburban caught on fire. The engine did.
Yeah.
It was mice nest mixed with gasoline leak mixed with hot.
But it's hilarious that is what caught fire on that thing.
Yeah, it should have been the wiring.
It really should have.
gone out. But also the wiring was apparently fine because like everything else still worked after that.
The Moretz.
Yeah, and now a friend of mine owns it that has it in his yard down the street. So
Wait, is he planning to drive it?
he's gonna fix it someday. He's got way too many projects.
Wow.
Mr. John, I don't care how many. I have no desire to drive an electric car. I am more afraid of an electric car catching on fire than I am my Kia.
Well, actually, okay. As a curiosity, I want to drive an electric car just once.
I'm not saying I don't want
But
to
that's
drive one, but I also don't want to be involved in a death trap either. I definitely don't want my kids in the back seat because I may be able to get out of the car before it completely engulfs, but I will not be able to get my kids out of the car. fast
Electric cars do not catch fire very much, especially a lot less than gasoline cars. That's for sure.
enough.
Because there are less of them in the world.
Well,
but-
actually, no.
No, when they
electric
go
cars
quick.
crash. Yeah, when
Okay,
electric
I
cars.
can't hear both.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, then don't
Yeah, sure.
talk and then have us try and answer you when you can't hear us.
I can't hear you both at the same time, is what I said.
Oh.
Okay, so go ahead.
Like I will say with electric cars, yeah, they typically don't spontaneously combust, but when they crash, they usually catch on fire.
Do you know how many
That's a
cars I
problem.
have seen go up in freaking flames when they're charging?
That's been an issue too with the fuelable. That
I
is a
have
fact.
seen a bus literally catch fire trying to go up a hill. And when they go off like freaking they go off like napalm.
Yeah,
They
and
just
also-
immediately are completely engulfed. There's no time to get anybody out of the car.
And also, a problem with EVs as well when the firefighters show up on the scene, they can't
put 'em
do
out.
anything.
They can't
Yeah,
put them
they
out.
have to just watch it burn. And until the
We've already
batteries
had-
are done.
We have had Nikolai, who has had to try to put out an electric car fire. It took them 6 days, 18,000 gallons of water, and 300 gallons of foam to get this car to go out. And it also took them flipping the car upside down and removing the batteries out of the car.
Yeah.
6 days.
Yeah, I don't like electric cars. It's not like I'm rooting for them.
So I mean, and Roy's right. The bus one that I saw. You ever seen a tank get ammo racked?
Yep.
Where it literally blows the freaking turret off of the tank, and like, that's what this freaking bus looked like. It looked like somebody ammo racked a bus.
Wow. I haven't seen that.
I'll see if I
and
can find it.
Look at
I don't know if
that.
I'll get in trouble for sharing it, but
now you definitely know where your car is when you can do that.
Uh-huh.
But mind you, I do the same thing on front with my 2 cars.
Yeah, it's just because I drive it all the time, but I love long cars, and it's really going to be the death of me because I'm not perfect, okay? I've bumped some things, as everybody does.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Well, that was in my truck, and that was the Camry, and that doesn't count.
That does count. You put it
I'm
on the
kidding.
internet. That counts because you put it on the internet. That was your fault.
Of course it counts. Yeah, no, it's just like, I don't know. I that was a mishap. That's the worst. That's the worst accident I've ever been in. So if I can keep it that way, I am not a dangerous driver. I'm the best driver out of all of my friends, which sounds very arrogant, but really think about the friends that I have, and then think about, I'm.
Here's the thing. You're 16 and you drive whales like that. Yeah, we can kind of tell that because you're not driving fast enough. Okay, correction. Can you drive fast enough? Oh, I'm sure you could, but it's gonna be sketch. It's gonna be sketch.
I've had this guy up to 110 miles an hour.
That's sketch, Tucker.
Actually, this thing was just sailing like it was on rails. This thing feels like the front 2 wheels are going to explode because the wheel bearing's going out on that side, and this side has something wrong with it. I think it's I don't even know. I haven't done any investigating. This side feels like what's happening is the both sides have tow out on this car, which is not good. So there's some tie rod issues. I know the tie rods on this are shot. The ball joints on this are shot. The wheel bearing on that side is toast. It's just the shocks are completely just exploded. The torsion bar bushings are gone. This car needs a lot of work. Okay. I'm actually thinking I'm going to find a spot to store this thing for the next 5 years because I'm really, really tempted to sell it. And really, here's my whole logic. If I sell it right now, there's no way I'm getting more than $4,000. And I don't want to sell this car for $4,000. It's not worth it to me. I love the car so much. $4,000 is
$4,000.
Of course. Well, not as is, because just not as is.
It has issues, and that Generative Eldorado up here, it does not have the value that it does down there. They just don't.
Absolutely.
Like that car, fully mint up here is maybe a $12,000 car. Like absolutely mint, nothing wrong with it. Like it came off the showroom.
Well, this car actually, I was offered $15,500 for this car once, but that was when it was in much better shape. That was before this guy showed up. Anyway,
did anybody see Jesse's comment?
No.
He goes, interesting subject. While I'm sitting here in an electric wheelchair with lithium-ion batteries in it, I bought off of eBay. I feel sorry for you, buddy.
Oh boy.
If it.
I use electric forklifts all the time too, but I don't have to sit inside of them.
Yeah, well, see, now hopefully, if it catches on fire, it goes out the back so you can ride it like a rocket, just whee!
Yeah, the other thing is I mean, I don't know, Jesse, I'm not sure of your mobility, but I'm pretty sure you're mobile enough that you could ditch that wheelchair in a hot second.
Well,
is he? I'm not sure about that.
He's upper body movement. His Broncos and stuff are all hand operated.
Well, yeah, I know.
I'm not
but
saying it's going to be a graceful dismount.
fair enough.
But when your
Yeah.
when your seat's on fire, I don't think you're really giving a shit about being a graceful dismount.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just slightly impaired. That's all. Gotcha.
See,
Ooh.
he good.
See, I didn't
He
know
got it. Like I said, he's got some cool ass freaking shit going on. So I mean, I figured he was at least somewhat movable.
You know, I feel myself getting out of a rut. I've been honestly, I was getting a gut, which is a very bad sign at 16. I've got a hernia going. I've got my back that goes out sometimes, and I've got arthritis developing in these two fingers. I'm 16 years old. These knees both click. I'm in bad shape.
You'll be fine.
I will be fine.
There are people
but I have
out
to
there
start
with worse issues.
That's not at all what I'm claiming. I'm not whining about my issues. You still see me crawling around on the concrete. I don't whine about it. I'm just saying this to paint a picture. You don't have to get so defensive. Jesus Christ.
Nobody's getting defensive.
You are
No.
immediately getting offended and
Drink
saying, "Oh my God,
Drink a
there are
Monster.
people in the world with worse issues than
That's
you."
not how I was meaning
Thank you,
that.
child.
I was not how I was meaning it.
Oh, damn. Well, okay.
Suck on
I'm
a
actually
lollipop.
Shit.
Anyway, just saying, yeah, but I feel myself now because my gut is going away, which is very good. And I'm getting some strength back, which is great because I have been I've got a case of sit around ascites.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah,
Problem
it's
is that
freaking
my
terrible.
sit around ascites is directly related to my I work too hard at fucking workus.
There you go. That's a very good point.
I literally was up at 3:30 in the morning, and of course, then you get off at like 5. I was getting off at 5. Still got to drive home, and then of course, there's the whole got to do the family stuff at home after freaking work. So by the time I can't sleep before like midnight. So of course, I'm not going to bed until like 11. I actually tried to go to bed at 10 the one night. I still saw 11:30 at night before I fell asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously getting up at 3:30, it whooped my ass this week. Because
Getting up at 3:30 a.m.
3:30 a.m. to drive into work and to frickin' throw fucking metal around all day.
That's insane, dude.
And I'm not talking in like, 25, 30 pounds of metal. I'm talking, 300, 400, 500 pound sheets of metal. Some of the parts that we cut out of those pieces still weigh 120 to 130.
When you're single-handedly throwing those
Not
around?
necessarily single-handedly, but it's still.
Well, you should be in the Ironman competition, man.
Yeah, no, I do not have the endurance to do that shit.
Hey, I want to. You know what's great? My uncle on my dad's side, my dad's brother, he completed the Ironman competition. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's basically imagine a triathlon, but it's crazy.
Yep.
And you should research it. Anyway,
have him on TV.
Yeah, well, he's completed that twice, which is crazy. Which is crazy, just crazy. I mean, my uncle is Superman. I don't know. It's insane. It's crazy. I come from very strong genes, but I can't get my strength on because I'm not maintaining it. I'm eating like garbage, and it's really a bad habit. So I gotta get back in my groove. Is my point. I gotta really. These carbs make you fat, man.
I have not even been out in the shop in probably two weeks, except for today. Because the one weekend we had the work picnic, and then we had Jess went to work the next day, and I was stuck with a 4-year-old. Can't go out in the garage when I have a 4-year-old around. He doesn't behave enough. Definitely not filming and watching a 4-year-old. So, and then like last weekend, I've been working, like normally my day that I go out and shop is Friday, because it's normally the day that I have off and I don't have any kids. I don't have any kids at home, I should say. But anyway, so I haven't been able to get out in the shop. And today I had the ability to, but I was so exhausted I ended up sleeping till like 11:30, 12 o'clock today.
Yep.
From not, when you get like 2-3 hours of sleep all week every night, eventually it catches up with you.
Yeah. See, now, I just get my workouts in from just living. Just like right then, where I almost fainted 3 separate times.
Don't
And my heart rate went to 120 beats a minute.
No, we don't want you to do that, Cat.
Yeah.
Wait, well, actually, coming back in before I sat down, I nearly collapsed straight into the TV stand. That would have been great.
No, that wouldn't have been good.
Oh, God.
Right?
Talk about
then-
getting your face full of TV.
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but when I actually sat back down in my chair, I hit it so hard that I had actually.
I saw you. I saw you sit down.
Yeah,
It got me.
yeah.
I didn't
chair
notice the
physically
things
moved.
before you sat down. I noticed it when you sat down.
Yeah. Yeah, that was and the one thing is making sure that it's right there, you probably noticed that I was trying to get my heart rate down.
Yeah.
So
Do not need Cat worked up.
Yeah, no, the heart rate's still it's not horrible, but it's not great. But I'm actually having heart palpitations too right now too. That's great.
Apparently
Yeah.
a friend bent the headlight bracket on his car. Pretty
That's
sure
not good.
it's just a brisk. That's your friend, right?
It's it's just brisk, yes. Yeah, well, that's not
Yeah.
surprising.
I'm sorry. It's just a 6 or something. It is what clicked in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, he's a funny guy. Yeah, that's not surprising at all. He brought a truck actually, a Silverado. Actually, I posted on my Instagram about it. That's
I think we made a meme about that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
What?
so now how did he bend the headlight bracket on that? Because I gotta admit, that's kind of a talent to do on a C10. Because they're buff.
Isn't
it.
part of
It's
the
10. It's the
core support?
K2500.
But aren't the headlight buckets part of the core support?
Um,
Not.
they are not. They're modular. You can take them off because they've got adjustment screws, and yeah, you can take them off. But yeah, I mean the headlight bracket. He might be referring to. They have little cages on over top of the lights that have these brackets directly mounted onto the housing, and he might have snapped those off and bent something there because he was playing with them the last time that we were.
Okay.
So it's very possible that
he
all
bent
just
the
bent and
silver
exploded.
around the headlight.
Okay,
Oh,
that's
you're
not
talking
good.
about the
He
okay, yeah,
yanked
you're
the headlight out because he was frustrated. He meant the silver around it.
Crap.
Yeah.
That's crappy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually well, okay, yeah, you can find that. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little hard to find that.
Well, not necessarily. I'm going to pick and pull, right? But
Well, actually, hang on. Is his the round headlight or the square headlight? I'm trying to remember. Square. Okay, then that's easier to find.
yeah, it's right here. He can have this one. No, he can't. No, I gotta stop telling people they can have things and then immediately take it back. It's not good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, stop doing that. Stop telling people that they can take apart your cars. Like, what's wrong with that?
It's not good. I don't know. It's not a good habit I've just started developing today.
I do that to my own cars.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I have a car that's not on the road today. Well, you know what? This car that I want on the road, it can have it for today. I'll deal with it later when I actually need to put that car on the road, and it's missing a lot more pieces than it did before I took it off the road.
You know, that reminds me of my insurance company. Who puts
see,
me
well,
with
Safe Auto?
See, I don't do that with my cars because they're always on the road. So
I guarantee you there are parts that I had robbed off of my Nova to get the Trans Am to pass inspection.
yeah, see, I haven't
Like,
had that
like
issue.
a headlight,
If
socket.
we live in
here and
Alberta,
there.
we're very lucky.
Well, okay, no, I do. My insurance company does require inspections, but when I got Lilo back, she passed the inspection with flying colors. The only thing they said is get it running better.
Well,
which,
we already
yeah, I knew
talked-
it was running like shit when I got it.
Crazy. They
talked.
passed it?
If I can
Yeah,
talk.
that car is great.
Wow.
Like you've never even sat in that car, so there's that.
That's true, but from what I've heard, I don't know. Okay, well, I'd love to drive it. Not around any Camrys.
But anyway, we've already
Sorry.
talked about what took my Nova off of the road. It
Mhm.
was that tire incident. That was what took my car off the road.
Yeah, and I'm talking about my convertible, which has only 2-year-old tires. So No, that car is
I
fine.
was
That one has the 14th or off of my. Actually, they were on
that car was a daily driver up until that incident.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't. The only issue I might have, because I do drive Stitch in the wintertime, is winter driving it. But so far it's been good.
And at the time that we had that incident, I didn't have the ability to cut the quarter off of that car and put a wheel well and a quarter on it.
See, oddly enough, if I destroy the cars, I've got enough parts to where I can fix them. That's nice.
I technically have the parts. I have wheel wells and I have a rear quarter for it. I just didn't have the ability, tools, shop, to cut that fender off and weld a new one on. That's what I was lacking. Technically, I'm still lacking that. I have a shop now. I don't have air tools and I don't have a welder.
Yeah, see, I don't have air tools. My air compressor doesn't have the right fitting on it, which honestly, we're just gonna throw that air compressor back into the octane.
Jesse, I couldn't do that because of laws here in PA.
Because I will say, if I crash Stitch into a ditch, oddly enough, with what I have planned for it, it's not the end of the world.
Robert Munn, Dr. Seuss.
Because, well, the entire front clip is going to get swapped out of the car anyways, so eventually.
Yeah. Here in PA, because of the damage that was done when that wheel decided to let go, I would have had to replace the inner wheel well. Otherwise, that car wouldn't have passed inspection.
Yeah, and also, because you have yearly inspections.
I have yearly inspections, and that created a hole into the passenger compartment of that car.
Yeah.
Which would have immediately failed it.
Yeah, see, we don't, if your insurance requires an inspection here, it's one and done.
Our insurance doesn't require inspection. The state requires inspection.
Yeah, see, the province of Alberta doesn't care because there's so many farm trucks on the road. That's another reason why.
Well, Alberta's kind of, I like their mindset in terms of the automotive industry. I'm not getting into politics whatsoever.
I will mention that, to be honest. Because, here in Alberta, we have a lot of farmers. And that's the reason why we have the laws that we have regarding that.
Put us on the tripod. Put us on.
No, I'm walking around here. There. Is that better for you?
Maybe. You like motion sickness.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know. I'm pacing.
I don't mind working and all that, but it's it wasn't just the pacing. You were going in and out and up and it just.
Yeah, because I'm cleaning up. Now I'm just running my fingers along the nice sculpted lines of this car.
See, now, what he needs is a gimbal for this.
Something, yeah, because it was just too much movement.
Go ahead and sponsor a gimbal for me because it really seems to bother you.
I could use an air compressor. I was looking at. Okay, so I mentioned this kind of in the chat earlier. No, lay down. Anyway, so I went on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace looking for just a cheap fucking little tiny air compressor just to blow the shop out. I'm not even looking to. I mean, granted, I'd love to find one that I can run an impact gun or an air ratchet or whatever. But I was literally just looking for something to be able to blow out the shop because for anybody that's not watching my channel, but watching my Instagram, I've been doing the work on my dashboard and my TA and been using Bondo. And everybody who's ever used Bondo knows Bondo dust sucks. It gets over everything. And I wanted to blow some stuff off. My TA looked like I freaking barn finded it 20 years ago. There's Bondo dust all over everything. And I just wanted to blow out my shop. Plus, I'd also like to blow off the dash when I'm done with it. But anyway, my point is I went on Facebook Marketplace, finding a 1.5 horsepower, 3-gallon pancake compressor, and they're over $100. And these, I'm not talking the ones that were oh, I used it once and put it away. I'm talking I left it out in my yard and it's so sun faded it looks pink instead of red, kind of, old.
Well,
one over
that's
$100 for
insane.
it.
You're obviously looking in the wrong places. Holy crap! I mean,
Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist are supposed to where you can find the freaking somebody's used shit.
yeah, you gotta wait for the right ones to come along because people are out of their damn minds.
I have been looking. That's why I complained about it.
Actually, something that I would look at, because you can always find somebody's old tools or whatever, finding the online auctions around you. Because honestly, that's where I get most of my stuff, and it's great. For the most part, like, you just gotta, you gotta do your due diligence with
I don't want a
it,
leaf blower. And that leaf blower does not have any other use for me. An air compressor, I can still blow up tires, or even the 3-gallon ones, you can still run an impact gun off of one of those. Not very, not like consistently, but you can.
Yep.
See, I don't even know. Like, the one that I have, I can't even use it because it has the smaller size fitting than all of my air tools that I have, which I don't have
Well,
many.
I already know, like, because it's like a pancake compressor, it's a job site compressor. So it'll run like a nail gun and things like that. So that at least will have some use for me. I mean, technically, I'd love to find like a 15 or 30-gallon one, like one of those little tiny horizontal tank ones, but they wanted like almost $200 for one of those. Like, that doesn't make any. I mean,
well, actually, a 15 or 30-gallon, that's a big compressor. That's not small.
Yeah, they're small compared to what I'm used to.
Well,
when I say big compressor, I'm talking 60 to 80 gallon. That's a big compressor.
That's a giant compressor.
That's a shop compressor. Those are what I'm used to. That's technically even small compared to what I know of as a shop compressor. To me, a shop compressor is a 2 or 3 phase and probably more like 100 gallons.
Well, those ones can damn near run an entire shop.
Exactly.
Remember, no. Like what I'm talking about, not just like, hey, you're a casual thing, whatever. No, it's like 5 bays of a shop. That's what I'm talking about.
But I can't run some of the stuff that I want to do unless it's a 60 to 80 gallon compressor. You cannot paint a car on less than a 60 or 80 gallon compressor.
That's true.
You can't run body tools. You cannot run body tools on anything less than a 60 or 80 gallon compressor.
Yes, you can.
No, if you try to run a non-orbital sander on a 30-gallon tank, you're gonna have to stop every 2.5 minutes and wait for the tank to fill back up. It will not continuously run a sander. It will not.
The gas tank on my truck is 17 gallons. Huh? One of them. It's just crazy to think that you're talking about an 80-gallon anything.
Yeah, that's in like the average. 60 to 80 gallons is your average size vertical freaking air compressor for a shop, if not bigger than that.
I was gonna say what Jesse actually just said. Like, for a sander, you could just get an electrical orbital sander.
I have an electric orbital sander.
Okay, they're fantastic. So,
no, like, it's annoying.
No, it's not. What are you talking about? They're fine.
Technically,
unless you have a weak one.
I have a DeWalt one. That's what I've been using. But again, that's only part of my problem. Like, there's a reason why I want, an air compressor and not just an electric orbital sander. Because also a DeWalt electric powered sander, they don't work the same way as an air sander. They don't. Number one, they're not as fast.
I mean, okay, yeah. Is it gonna take you a little more time to do? Yeah, but you can also, depending on what you're sanding, you could just instead run a coarser sandpaper than you normally would to get it down to where you want, and then use your other stuff to clean it up.
And Pilot's right. No, I don't have 3-phase in my garage. I'm not saying I'm looking for a 3-phase. 220. 220 is what I'm looking for. A 220 60 to 80 gallon air compressor. which is, like I said, that's about average of what, if you're going to do body work, you need.
Yeah, see,
And
I've like the body work I've done. I've just used my electric palm sander. Not a big deal. I have a little,
exactly.
what
Roy is exactly right. It is the control and the way that it sands is different than an electric sander.
That's
If
fair.
you have
I mean,
used an air sander versus an electric sander, you would know why there's a bigger difference than just how fast it gets it done.
oh, I'm sure there
And
is
also
a
lighter.
difference.
If you got to sand a whole car, and you're trying to sand a whole car with an electric sander versus a air powered DA, that air powered DA is probably half the weight of that electric sander, and bulk, because an electric sander is a lot taller. Yeah.
My electric sander is not very big, and it's that thing's not heavy at all. Like the one I use, yeah, I'm sure that there is advantages to air. Don't get me wrong. I'm totally aware of that. I
Jesse,
have
it's
used
not just two
air
cars.
sanders.
I'm not. Jesse's like, it's just 2 cars that I'm rebuilt. That my channel is not just 2 cars. It's 2 cars now. I don't. If you've seen any of the channels that you watch, do they ever just stay with 2 cars or 1 car that they currently are building? I don't plan on just having the 2 cars on my channel forever. The point is to get those 2 cars done and move on to something else.
Yeah, to be fair, on my channel, I think I've had like 8 or 9.
The only reason I've had only 2 cars on my channel is because I have not had a shop. I have not had the ability to whatever. And I don't think that, yeah, you have too many cars. I don't really think that a 60 or 80 gallon air compressor is unreasonable for the type of work that I plan on doing. And I don't plan on just doing body work. I don't plan on just doing regular maintenance work. Eventually I'd like to be able to, there's a reason why my original channel was called NOVAtazz Customs. I don't plan on just doing what I plan on doing: custom builds, custom cars, custom interiors, custom body work, the whole gambit. And not even just body work. I want to do woodworking. There's a lot of things that I want to do, and there are things that I am going to do to get by till I can get what I want and what I need. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying I'm going out and buying a $80 an 80 gallon air compressor right now. That's why I said I'm looking for a little cheap thing I can just blow out my shop with right now. And I just think that the prices people are asking for used, not very well taken care of junk. I mean, it'll do the job, but is it worth $100? No, I can almost buy a new one for over $100, just about the same price. A couple bucks more, I can go buy a brand new one. Why am I going to want somebody's 10-year-old freaking air compressor for the same price as a new one? You didn't even spend that to buy that thing new to begin with, because 10 years ago they didn't cost that much.
Yeah, although I will admit, older power equipment is way better than this stuff.
Roy, I hope I do too. It's going to be a while. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pipe dream. There's a reason, like, yes, I'm doing the TA right now. The TA I'm doing just to get it on the road to enjoy it. I want to do the Nova first, because I'm hoping by the time I get done doing the Nova, my channel will grow more, or I will have it be in a better financial situation to be able to dump more money into the TA. The TA is going to be more expensive to build than the Nova. Just the parts alone cost more for the TA.
Yeah.
He says, I was stuck with a 110 volt. I bought a 60 gallon with a, yeah. And that's probably what I'm looking at first. My shop, to be honest, it needs an electric overhaul. I've got probably 3 to 4 different generations of wiring in that garage that need to go. I do not have a box out in my garage. The box is down in the basement of the house. So I do have family members at least that can come out and come help me. We're going to run a new line out to the shop with a box. I do not even have 220 out in the garage. So most welders take 220. Decent, not your spot welders, your little Harbor Freight, flux core ones, but an actual like gas and gas welders take 220.
Yeah. Well, and the one thing is my little welder is only a 110.
Yeah.
But
little spot welders normally are around 110.
Yeah, I mean, it's a full on MIG. Like it's a flux core / MIG. You can run gas. It's not.
I have one similar, possibly, maybe still. I don't know. It was at her mom's house. I don't know if it still even exists. But yeah.
Yeah, like I'd love to have a 220 welder, but I don't. I don't even have a I have one 220 plug in my house and it's in the bathroom, so it's not really. Yeah. And yeah, like even we have a really badass pressure washer that this thing, because when normally you say electric pressure washer, you think, oh, in a 3200 psi, you think of the cheap little things you can buy for like $200 or whatever at Home Depot. But this one, retail on it is over $3,000. Is the one that we bought. It's a 220 volts. The thing weighs 182 pounds, and it'll actually flow 4 gallons a minute. Yeah. Like it'll take paint off a brand new painted vehicle, no problem.
Or it says he ran an extension cord out to his dryer. My garage is kind of like 50, at least 50 feet from the house itself.
Yeah, see. We could do that with that one, but I mean, to be honest, that pressure washer is way overkill for anything that we need here. Yeah. It really is.
Like, you got from what you've told me about that before, it's a decent little pressure washer.
Yeah, it has liquid cooling in it.
Yeah. I don't have the water pressure or whatever to feed that pressure washer.
I don't think we do either, to be fair. I don't think so. Like, yeah, hooking it up to, the sink or whatever, or even to the tub, I don't think it'll flow enough.
Jesse's right. He says used stuff got overpriced. Yeah, it is. They want way too much for used crap. The whole point of buying used was it wasn't nowhere near the price of new. And when your used crap is encroaching on the prices of new crap, I'll just go fucking buy a new one. And then I got a guarantee that I can take it back if it breaks in freaking 3 days.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Like the one thing is, and I know the reason why like a lot of used stuff went up, it's because for quite a while, a lot of new stuff you couldn't even buy because they were out of stock of everything for about a part of a year. It's not as bad now, but it was for a while. And some of the stuff is still trying to catch up, but for the most part, stuff is back in stock.
Well, I mean, I can go look up. Okay, so that same maybe not same pancake compressor, but similar. I think I looked it up. Pretty sure I looked it up.
Oh.
Whose phone is going off?
Hang on, I'll be out of here for just a minute here, or a little while more.
Where did it go? Air compressor. Just the air compressor. So just the air compressor. Yeah, I can buy a 1/3 horsepower 3-gallon for $69.99. Granted, their 6-gallon pancake compressor is $129, and it's their McGraw one.
What does a 1/3 horsepower do for you exactly?
Not really, not much. Let's see, what is it capable of running?
A car battery?
You're gonna run a car battery off of a air compressor?
Well, the point being, you can't hook up a car battery to an air compressor, so I'm sure it would run it just fine.
You make no sense, but okay.
And that's the point. Makes no sense.
You still don't make any sense to me, but okay.
Well, that's the point. So congratulations, you got it.
Okay. Thank you for completely derailing my thoughts.
I'm so good at that.
How does it not tell you what it's capable of doing? $3-gallon, 110 max PSI, 0.6 cubic feet a minute at 90 PSI. That's like nothing. You can't run a shop tool off of that.
Like, can you even run an air truck off of that?
Yeah,
Like,
it'll
you're
blow
gonna.
air. It'll blow air. You can fill your tires up with it.
Well, that's just ridiculous to me. That's a waste of metal.
And that was only $69.99. So, like here's an 8-gallon, 1.5 horsepower, 150 psi, and that's $169.99. I'm pretty sure that I probably find better whatever if I go to like Home Depot or something. As far as looking up, they might actually have what I can use stuff with. Because I don't know how much what a 1/3 horsepower is able to run. Yeah, 5.9 CFM. Anything like above 3 or 4 should be good enough to do basic like car stuff, like run a impact gun, do some intermittent cut off wheel stuff. But anything that requires a lot of CFM that's not gonna do very much. Yeah, it'll run a grinder, but for how long? Geez, they don't even sell a 3. No, here's a little. That's still a 6-gallon. Did they sell a 3-gallon one? There's a 2.
I really
Look,
my Husky
okay,
compressor.
so DeWalt has a 2.5-gallon, 140 psi air compressor, but it's $219. What does it run? Where's its specs? Come on. Oh, it's
Oh, damn it. My phone's gonna. Oh, I gotta get out of here. I'm freaking exhausted as hell, man.
yeah, 10 to 12 minutes and let it catch back up. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, so it is 1 CFM at 90 psi. It looks like it runs off of. That's why it's so expensive. It runs off of fucking drill batteries. It's not even corded.
Why would
battery thing, that's gotta be expensive. Batteries aren't included with it. You gotta buy the batteries separately. So you're paying $212. You still have to buy a battery with it. And if anybody's bought a cordless drill or a cordless tool battery, those things are freaking sometimes more expensive than the tool itself.
like Milwaukee? The problem is, I mean, the good thing is you can use that battery and everything. Milwaukee's freaking genius for that.
Yeah. Still ridiculous.
That's stupid. I agree. I don't mind cords unless I'm going to the junkyard.
Same with me. I don't in the shop. I don't mind them most of the time. Some stuff I'd like to be in cordless, but
Honestly, I really am happy with it. It's actually my dad's, but really he hasn't used it in 16 years. It's
So
Husky air compressor.
It's good for brad nailing, stapling, and finish nailing.
That's exactly what that's good for. That's the only thing it's good for.
It's very intermittent use.
Yeah, a little. That's fine, but like.
Yeah, I like a cordless drill too. I prefer a cordless drill over a freaking. Even though I did have a corded drill for a long time. Are you leaving me, Team Joe?
Yes,
Right.
I'm.
Well, you have a good night.
You too. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, see you later.
Yep. Take it easy. Goodbye.
Yeah, it is the CFM that does count, and that's the thing is to run an air a spray gun. I need at least 12 CFM. Hi, Cat.
Hi. Yeah. Sorry, I got a phone call there.
That's
so,
okay. We were just still talking about compressors and different things, and what I was talking about earlier about saying that I need certain air, I need a certain type of air compressor. So to run a spray gun for painting, you need at least 12 CFM. That's cubic feet a minute.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, you're only running maybe, I think anywhere from 60 to 90 psi, maybe even as low as 20 with some of the newer spray guns, but you need that CFM. And the problem with a lot of the smaller air compressors are they don't run at that CFM. I can't even search why. Like, that should be one of the options when I'm looking at air compressors to search by it. It gives me voltage, oil free or oil lubricated, single or two stage, voltage, horsepower rating, amount of maximum PSI, but I can't search for CFM? That's weird.
Yeah, for the most part, they'll just say, "Oh yeah, PSI." I'm like, that's usually not the issue because like my
No.
2-gallon,
Anything
like,
over 100 PSI, you're normally pretty good with most tools.
yeah, like my little 2-gallon in here, is not much for CFM to be honest. It says SCFM. I don't know what that, but
Yeah,
it's the same thing.
CFM.
Okay.
I'm just
Okay, so
not saying the S.
yeah, when they say yeah, so at 90 psi, it's only 1 CFM. Like it's not good for much. And like for what I need it for, yeah, it doesn't compute very well. But like the stuff that I do though, mind you, like I don't. An air compressor would be nice just for painting, but like everything else I can do with the tools I have currently. But when I do paint the car, like I'm just probably gonna end up painting my car with a rattle can instead. But because I can do that, and also the problem is unless I borrow my buddy's shop and clean the crap out of it, because paint's gonna get contaminated otherwise. Because like his shop is really dirty. So
yeah, well, the biggest thing with
shop
painting, other than making sure you have CFM and pressure, is making sure you don't get water in the line or other contaminant, which normally means you need to have a. You can either do it a couple ways. You can do it to where you cool the air coming out of the air compressor down, through, like, sometimes you can run them through like copper. You coil your copper water through a bucket of water before it comes out.
Yeah,
or you can do a water extractor and a filtration system.
Jesse, I can't put up a plastic tent and still walk around my car. I can't do that here. And also, I'm still in a gravel alley. Like the ground is gravel that's underneath of it too, and dirt and whatever else. So it doesn't really. It's not efficient to do any sort of painting here. I can do bodywork here, not a problem, but painting, no.
Yeah. So for the old school paint guns, the HVLP guns, you need 20 CFM of air.
A lot.
Oh no, yeah, high volume, low pressure gun. That's the new style. 20 CFM of air for the new style. The old style needs 10 to 15. A conventional spray gun. So yeah, I mean, 20 CFM at, I think it's 25 PSI. Yes, I understand that, Jesse. But, you know, it's still a 4.9 CFM air compressor is not going to make 20 CFM at... Are you back there whining? My dog is whining.
I always forget on how loud this mechanical keyboard is.
It is pretty loud. But mine's kind of loud too. I wasn't even pushing it. But I only, like, I love this keyboard. It's the K95. And it's got the... Like, I can literally almost just rest my finger on the key and it's already pressing the key. I only have to move it, like, maybe 1.5 millimeters and it's already pushing the key.
Yeah, see, mine's just a plain Jane Logitech keyboard, nothing fancy.
Yeah, this one was 125 used.
Jeez. Yeah, no. And now, Pilot, I have never painted a...
I don't know if it'll show up.
I have never painted a full car. I've only done sections of a car. I will admit that.
You guys just did a oopsie.
Again. Yeah, for those of you wondering, this happened before the live too.
On the camera.
I don't think there was anything. Okay.
Well, I have to watch it because there are certain things on the other side of the office that are not of my. I do not claim any responsibility for them. Oh well, yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, no, that's not right at all. And like any of the painting, I have used the paint gun before. But the only time I've actually used the paint gun is with a little panel that I made. But one thing is with that panel, when I was in this was a auto body class. They started me off with, okay, you gotta hammer this flat piece of metal out and make it curve, right? Nice, curved metal. And without an English wheel, right? So it's like, okay, just with, hammer and nullet. And I mean, I did it. And like the one thing is, because I had never done it before, like I asked my teacher, like, hey, is this any good? It's like, that is better than I've ever seen. And you hardly have to use any Bondo on that. I'm like,
yeah, I have painted a full car both with spray paint and with an actual gun. I spray painted. I've did my mountain bike back when I was in school. I painted a full car. So it's not like I don't know how to do it. I've done it before. But like I said, if I'm going to set up my shop, I'm not going to set it up with it'll get by. I mean, at first, yes, because you got to work with what you can afford. But the whole point of this is what I want. It's because you don't build your shop for the bare minimum of what you need. When you're building a shop, you're kind of also slightly future-proofing it because you don't want to sit here and end up, running into something where you can't do something.
Yeah, that's fair. Like I get that absolutely. And I mean, it's technically no different than my cars, because the one thing is, anything I do this point forward to the cars is an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just want to replace. Because I've done the whole cheap replacement thing, and I've already replaced those parts since. So not doing that again. My ball joint is that thing, because that ball joint was only a year old.
Very well. Violet goes, you can't expect show car paint. I won't settle. I mean, like I said, there's a reason why this model behind me took me almost 8 months to do the body work. Because I didn't like it. I started over. And
yeah. You are one of the most anal people I know.
Sometimes.
When it comes to that.
Sometimes. The thing is, and I can go with what I can afford, yes. But if I, the other thing is, as soon as I'm done paying off, would you shush back there? You're fine. Go lay down. He doesn't want to be back in his kennel anymore. The thing is, oh, you are worse than a husky. He's over there whining and crying and like he's being wounded. But oh, that's right. I can go with what I can afford. As soon as I'm done paying off the stuff that I've done with the TA, that is going to be one of the things on my next I'm going to be making payments on list. You know, because I think those are one of the two biggest tools that you need in your shop is, you know, for what I want to do, is a welder and an air compressor. And there's no point in me buying an air compressor that doesn't do everything that I needed to do right off, because then I'm just going to end up selling it and buying it again.
Hi, you finally decided to photobomb me. Hi.
And I don't really consider a 60 or 80 gallon air compressor necessarily a big compressor for a professional shop. I think it's a decent sized compressor for. And the other thing is, that's the other thing is, my garage isn't just like an average DIYer garage. It's not what I plan on. It's not what I plan on to be. You know, like I said, I plan on restoring cars or customizing cars in this garage, not just, you know, basic maintenance. So, like I said, I don't consider a 60 or 80 gallon air compressor necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? Outrageous. I don't consider it an excess for what I want to do. 80 maybe, but at least a 60.
Yeah. See, and I didn't realize that Roy was a 60 actually, in his garage. Because obviously, I've been to his house, been to his garage. I've used his air tools. They're great.
Well, Pilot goes, he painted his Corvette. He did it in his garage. It had some. The thing is yes, you can end up with some flaws in the paint, but a lot of flaws you can wet sand out. I don't expect it to not have a speck of dust or whatever.
Yeah,
but I want to give it the best chance to have a decent paint job that I can do with what I'm doing. No, I'm not painting it in a sealed booth. So yes, I'm going to expect some dust or gnats in it here and there. But I also expect to be able to sand them out.
Yeah, for the most part, a lot of flaws. If you're proficient at wet sanding and buffing, you can get it out. 95% of them, unless it needs to screw up badly on the paint.
A lot of the work is before you ever even pull out the spray gun.
True. The prep itself is what takes the time. Actually, painting takes no time.
90 to 95% of a paint job is your prep.
No, exactly. Like that's what I was saying. Because I did a little video. Now, people were bitching about that video, but all I said was tips on how to make a rattle can look decent. I wasn't saying rival a show quality paint job.
Oh no, my TA did not rival a show car, but it was a good 15-footer.
You can look at now. I did not wet sand though, but that's because nor did I buff anything either.
I didn't have a clear coat on mine, so.
Yeah, I had a clear coat on mine. I did a rattle can clear coat. And actually, it looks pretty decent. Like it's the lower body light on my car that I finally finished it on the one side. So now it's the gray.
The worst
it's
part
the blue. It's the red.
Big flat panels, hood, trunk, roof. The big, long, big, wide, long panels. Because again, your spray can only has a 2.5 inch spray pattern, whereas your HVLP gun will have a 6 to 8 inch spray pattern. You know, so
actually, I was gonna say, have you seen those spray cans that they call the turbo cans, where they have like an even bigger spray pattern
No, I haven't
than
seen those.
Oh, they're crazy. But like it shoots like crap because it's way too much paint coming out at once.
Yeah.
But it's like if you don't care, you can paint a car in like 10 minutes with that damn gun. Like with that rattle can.
So what I painted my TA in, and I don't have any in here, or I have one out in the garage, is, in fact, actually, it's the same paint that I painted that truck in, was Rust-Oleum's 2X Gloss Black. I like those ones because it does have the fan tip instead of just the round tip. It does the fan. But you still, it's easy to fuck it up. Especially on them big wide panels.
Oh, 100%. Like one of the comments said, which there's this girl that comments on just about every single one of my videos. She knows a lot actually, and she's just like, yeah, like she mentioned that rattle can is good for like some of the smaller surfaces or the like the bottom body lines of a car or something like that, which I will agree, but you can do more with it if you do the prep work. And that's what I was saying in the video. And I said, now you should wet sand this too. It would make it just damn near perfect if you do. But I was trying not to paint throughout the entire video in 28-degree weather. So that's the reason why.
That's rattle can.
See, the problem is you can't really tell with that. Like, you can see the shine, but also you can see a lot of like the dirt and whatever else, or at least the where it should have been like wet sand and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean it's not perfect. I said it's a 15-footer.
Yeah. See, if you actually put a clear coat on that, it probably would look way better.
Probably would have. See, I told you, there's the I had clear coat sitting there, and in fact, you can see the stripe. What problem is I went to go put on the first layer of clear coat, and at the time I didn't really know. I should have kept going because it would have evened out. But when I first put the first couple of layers, the first coat of clear coat on it, it was really stripy, and I didn't like it, so I just stopped. The point was not to make an awesome looking car. It was to make a car that looked good going down the road.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Like I get that. It's no different than now. Like my car, because when I first got Stitch, the passenger door was tan, right? And it, oddly enough, actually, like, it didn't bother me as much as it bothered most people, but, it bothered people enough, and I started to say, you know what, let's just see if I can, obviously I wasn't going to get it to near match, I just grabbed some primer, just sprayed over top of it, just to make it look a little better, but, so that it's at least all gray. But I mean, that door is screwed anyways. I'm not really going to, I need to get a new door for the passenger side, but.
Oh man, that's not bad for rattle can.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Like, yeah, you can tell you prepped it. So it's good. That's, because, yeah, most of it's in prep. And that's what I mentioned to people too. Just like, you get the surface as flat and nice as you can. Now, the one thing is that I didn't do, when I was sanding, I didn't alternate sandpapers. I think I just stuck with 60 grit the entire time. But I did mention you should probably, go to like 100, 120, 200, 300 sort of thing.
Well, the thing is this. Okay, so that paint job is what's on the car currently. Is now granted, I know it. It does not have a clear on it. And it sat outside for a good long fucking period of time. Where is a picture of the car today? And I remember, I'm not sure if you remember me having the issues. Well, you don't know. When I had it in Reading, I had a bunch of people key it. And I had that lady that ran into it like 17 times. So it's got issues.
Yeah, I can imagine. And yeah, and the one thing is, even with my car, because unless if I let my cousin paint the car, or if I find a shop that's nice and clean and everything, and with the right materials and shit, do it that way myself. But even so, right now, I don't think I have the energy at this point to paint a full car.
Yeah. And
I don't think so.
this is also not washed. It's dirty. But that's
Dirty.
the same paint from, what was that, 2014 that I did that? This paint's almost
Yeah,
8 years old with no clear coat.
It is amazing that it's still there without a clear coat. Only because, like, it's not only been sitting, but you also did drive it for a while, too, obviously, so...
It was sat parked, yeah. Out in the weather.
Oh, wait, you didn't drive it with that paint on it?
Oh, yeah, I did. For a while.
Okay, yeah, see, that's what I was saying, you know, like, you did at least drive it for a bit, because it's one thing for a car just to...
The car got painted in August of 2014, and the car went down in 2015.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, like you said, so you did drive it for a while, and that is still impressive. That now, obviously, if you continue to drive it, that paint will probably all be gone. But just because of no clear coat.
Well, the thing is what's worse for it is not the driving; it's the sitting out in the sun.
Well, that too, but also like for example, going down the road, like rock chips or anything like that, especially when you don't have a protectant on it, it just eats it even faster, right?
Yep.
That's what I'm getting at. Or any just like, really windy day, for example, and you're driving and it's just a bunch of dust blowing on it as you're driving to even increase the sandpaper effect.
Pilot goes, are any of these projects ever going to get done? How far has my car come just since I moved here? I mean, granted, I moved here a year ago.
Yeah,
but
moved a year ago, and
but the car didn't come up. The car didn't come into the garage until, when was that? January, February?
Just something like that. Yeah, it's been less than a year that it's been. And then you couldn't work on it until like 4 or 5 months ago.
Right, and like the whole engine's been torn apart. Well, not the engine. I tore the whole engine bay apart. The engine bay's ready to go back together. I have all of the wiring out of the car. I've got a whole new wiring harness ready to go in. The only reason the wiring harness isn't in is because I decided that I wanted to fix the problems with the dash before I do a new harness in the dash.
Yeah, and also, pilot, nothing is ever not a project, either. There's that. Because I know that personally. Like, where I thought the stitcher was going to be done, yeah, nowhere near. Even when I say, like, when I think my car is going to be done, I'm still going to want to do more. And there's always something else you're going to want to do to your car. All of it. It doesn't matter. Like, we always try and talk to say, hey, you know what? I know when my car is going to be done. Yeah, no, we don't.
I mean, like,
Painting. No, like, and I know what he's saying, though. It's not like saying, hey, you haven't done anything. He's just saying, like, hey, is it ever going to get done? I understand what he's saying, right?
All right.
And I think he's just teasing you a little bit, too.
Do I have today's pictures on here?
Like,
Stitch. They didn't upload yet.
Yeah, like Stitch. When I bought the car and then got her on the road, it was 11 months is what it took me to get that thing on the road. But since then, I spent another like $5,000 on it. So, I just did the bare necessities to get it on the road. Even with those seats, which I don't know how those seats didn't or passed and not a problem.
Yeah, this is what I started with the dash. This will be part of the video. Yeah. I mean, that's the reason why I'm like, why am I going to throw, if I have the dash out of the car and I'm throwing it in, why not fix this? I don't have pictures. I do if I have them on my Facebook, I think.
Hey, that's awesome, Jesse. You got the Bronco fix the other day?
Yeah, I love his Bronco.
See, Bronco 2s aren't, I'm not a big fan of them, but,
his is nice.
To each their own.
His is nice.
Yeah, I've never found a Bronco 2 I like it, just because I don't like the car. And that's all, but it's just personal opinion.
Yeah. Now, I like the regular Broncos more, but his is nice. Come on, load. You're not gonna load. Oh, there we go.
Interesting. So I wonder if you just had a loose connection or something like that. Like you thought you had a pet, maybe not. My guess on that?
Yeah, so this is what I've gotten done so far today. So the dash, I started sanding the whole dash down because I had to remove all the black paint so that way the contact cement sticks to it. But I got it in the final glaze, so it's ready to go. I was waiting on some patches that I did in this structure area to harden because I used PC7. Like there's one right there. It was cracked right through there. Completely separated. This one, this screw bung right here that the screw's going into, it wasn't attached to any of this. It was attached to the back of the part, but it wasn't attached to the cart, to the dash itself. So it was completely broken. There's the back side of it. But yeah.
Yeah, see, like the dash in Stitch does have a crack in it, which is really annoying. And the problem with that dash, because it's a 1 year only color on that dash, it's a unicorn dash. So, I gotta figure out how I'm not only going to fill in that crack, which I think I know because it's just plastic, so I might be able to do some sort of plastic welding, then file it down and see if I can paint it. Like get paint that is custom made to the color of that dash. To do it, but we'll see for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, this is the giant piece of frickin' vinyl that I have to do the dash and whatever else I can get out of it. So I have the dash, I have some of the filler panels for the dash to do. And I want to try to get the center console and the center console lid done in the same material. And then if I have extra left after that, start doing some of the plastic pieces for like the C pillar and different things. Actually, technically, it doesn't have a C pillar. It's still a B pillar, but yeah. The sail panel. Jesse asked, so do I fiberglass in a filler panel for the radio? No. Where is that? You are so whiny. Where's those pictures? So I haven't done anything with that panel just yet. Can I rotate that? No, it's not gonna let me rotate that. Damn it. Okay. But it sucks because you can't really see it. I'm gonna try to make it bigger. So this is actually my filler panel for the radio. This is the front side of it. It's got 4 screws here, and then it's got this metal plate that's in the shape of the outside of the panel. Is it this direction? Okay, this is the back side of it. If I can get it to... Does that look good? Yeah. So this is the back side of it. This still has the actual CD player, whatever thingy in it. So it literally takes up, and it sandwiches those two, the front piece of metal and this back piece of metal together. What I plan on doing is just wrapping the vinyl down around, and it'll cover up this whole freaking mess anyway. There's it without the CD player hole in it. So you can see I got to put the bolt hole back in that one. So I plan on wrapping the vinyl up over, and between the radio and the bezel for the radio, you're not going to see much of that anyway. And besides, it's tucked down under. If you look at where it's at in the dash, it's not in a highly it's right in the center of the dash, but where you sit, you're not going to really notice that that's there once it's covered in vinyl. And it's not like it's no, don't you go anywhere. I'm about ready to lose my cam again. There we go. Come on. There we go. We good? Yeah, we're good. Anyway, and it's not like I'm covering it in like it's this is the actual one here. So it's it's actual vinyl. And I can even put a piece of foam over top of the edge of where that radio goes to even like hide the screw heads. Get some thin foam.
Actually, I'm gonna head out here, so I
Okay.
will catch you later.
All right, I'll catch you later.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, this is the actual material that I'm using for the dash. It's a 4-way stretch. And it's actually stretchier in the big panel than it is in this little tiny panel. But that's actually the material that I have out in the garage. Like I said, the only thing I'm waiting on now is for that PC7 to harden. It takes 24 hours in natural, 24 hours in regular atmosphere. It'd take me 2 hours if I had it at 120 degrees. Yeah, it's marine grade vinyl. I actually got it from, not that they sponsor me in any way, but marinevinylfabric.com. They just had a decent price and could get me what I needed. So we'll see how well it works when I go do it. I don't know. But anyway, so I had to stop sanding today because with those parts not being, with that epoxy not being hardened, it was actually moving the parts while I was trying to sand on the dash. So I had to stop so that way I need to let that stuff harden. I don't want to fuck with it too much because I want it to have a nice bond and to actually hold what I need it to hold. So it's going to cure overnight. If I have time tomorrow, I'll work on it some more. I didn't film anything today because it's just more sanding. I did all the glaze coating today. So like the dash is ready to, other than prep sanding the whole dash, because it is coated in a black vinyl paint. And I want to sand as much of that off as possible. The dash is ready. As far as repairing, the repair job stuff is done. Now it's just prep work for doing the vinyl itself. So, I mean, like I said, I have pictures of the dash. Like I said, the hole in the top is repaired. The one down in the bottom, I even repaired the one down in the radio hole that I didn't notice was there till today. That's filled in as well. So hopefully all that'll be good, and then I can wrap the dash, and then once the dash is wrapped, we can start working on the wiring again. But I also want to get working on this this model behind me. I gotta film a bit for the fact that I'm done painting it, because the last piece I filmed was back in December of me painting it the first time and getting frustrated with it. So I kind of need to do something after that, because unless I just don't tell anybody I fucked it up like 6 times. But that wouldn't be very honest. Probably get the hand controls working on the F-250 this week and fix the frame rust on my dad's new Jeep because the front leaf shackle mount is, yeah, that's why I got rid of my, is it XJ? It's a 89 Jeep Cherokee Limited. I think that's XJ. I really liked that truck. But I had to get rid of it because the passenger side rear front frame mount was just about rotted all the way up through the floor. Yeah. So, and mine had the inline 6 with the high output. Yeah, I'll pull it up in Discord after the live. Smaller at the bottom of the frame, right in the front end. Post a picture of a Discord. Okay. Like I said, I'll take a look at it after the live. Oh, and anybody else is able to get on the Discord. In fact, I think if you scroll somewhere, there's probably a Discord link somewhere in this chat. I don't sure what mine had in it. Like I said, it was the '89 Jeep Cherokee. I don't know what size they were running back then. It had the factory sunroof in it, the vinyl interior, had the snowflake rims on it. Yeah, that sounds about right. It was an inline 6. It was 4 liter something. I don't know. It was a fun little 4-wheel drive. I had a push bar on the front with four floodlights. It was all blacked out. I had photo etched tigers on both of the back rear glass side glasses. I didn't put them there. They were already on the truck when we got it, but I liked them. They were kind of cool looking. It made it unique. I think I have a picture of it somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. It might actually be on Facebook. Well, actually, here it is. This is actually my Jeep, but not when I owned it. Totally found it later. No, I gotta go on Facebook, I think. Oh, darn it. I closed my freaking YouTube link window again. It's under Nova. Is it under Nova? Oh, wow. I thought I had a picture of it being pulled by my Jeep. This is not in this one. Oh, there it is. There's my old Jeep. Thomas for me. It was just a beater, but yeah, it was the Jeep Cherokee Limited. The Limiteds came with those snowflake rims. Can you even see? You can't even really see the tiger on the back window, but it was there. You can't even really see it in this picture, unless I'm just not imagining that it was there. Where was it on the backpack glass? I don't think I have a picture of it back there. That's my Nova when it had the blue stripes still on it. Yeah, kind of basic. See, it had the factory sunroof on it. Leaked like a fucking sieve. But yeah, right here was rotted out. But yeah, no. I like that truck. It was fun. Ended up getting rid of it. No, I didn't get rid of my pick window. It's right here. I believe we still only got 4 likes, man. I thought this was a pretty damn good show this week. The Jeep my dad got is had a fiberglass. Ooh, I'll have to take a peek at it. Yeah, I would not suggest text and drive. I don't know how much longer we're going to be on here though. Dog's whining at me. Are you gonna make me go look at Discord? I can't open Discord right now to mess with shit. CJ5. Okay, I'll have to take a peek. But I think I am gonna... On my phone I can. Actually, I could probably open Discord on my phone. I'll just open Discord on my phone. Did Kat end up beating you today? She was getting pretty damn close. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nice. What tires that thing have on it? Hercules OTRs, huh? It looks oddly like the ones that I have on my truck. My ones I have on my truck are Mud Claws. Oh, she did beat you. That's funny. But, alright. Get your last gamble in. I think I'm going to call it tonight. I don't think there's there's only one person left in here. Did you beat her? All right. Hit the points thing. I gotta share it to her. Yeah, there's the Discord link. Aww. I got yelled at by my own freaking cloud bot. Anyway, catch you guys later. I gotta roll the credits here. And thank you guys for a good time.